Okay, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Yeah, just welcome to the channel. It's just a little open one today, I think. Just sit around and chat, So, got a couple of friends who've joined. Jen's a little corner, and of course, my friend Hops Watch. So, we just sort of fire up the old YouTubes, hang about for a little while, and just shoot the shit, basically, I think. So,
You want to be careful doing that. It might splatter everywhere.
yeah, I know. By the way, Sam, I see you're in the chat. I have sent you a link. Hi, Sandy, never again.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, never again.
Yeah. And
Hello,
hello, Mark Caesar.
Where was my brain going?
Yeah. So, I don't know where everyone. Yeah, you've got the link if you want, Sam. You said you'd be along in a bit, but yeah. I don't know where everyone wants to start today. I don't know if you want to talk about Twitter or not, Hops. It's up to you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's bitch about Twitter.
Actually, before we do that, is anybody else drinking, or am I the only one today?
You are the only one because I have no mixes.
You really had to ask that. You really had to ask that embarrassing question, didn't you, Jeff? No, I'm not drinking today.
You're not. Oh,
no, I'm not. No, I don't. I don't really feel like it because I'm not that well at the moment. Nothing serious, no COVID. Though we've here in Denmark we've had the highest number of new cases ever today, ever registered.
Denmark, not in the world.
Not in the world. Well, yeah, could be in the world as well, considering the development, like everywhere with COVID. But yeah, we had the highest number of newly infected in Denmark. But it's not that I suffer from. It's depression and being unemployed and not having the energy to do practically anything. And that's if there are any followers of my channel. That's why I'm not really putting anything out there. I can't concentrate enough for it. So what I'm doing instead, I'm on Twitter ranting, poking fun at people in power. I really enjoy that. Something you can do through Twitter.
Yeah.
Though it seems I kind of crossed the line this morning. Donald Trump went on one of his many Twitter rants, and what was it? Which tweet was it where I kind of stumbled or went a bit too far?
Okay, do you want me to? Let me find it. Let's see if I'll read this off. Shall I?
Yeah, well, let's see. I had to remove the tweet again because else the thing is I've actually ended up in Twitter jail now for a week. And I had to remove the tweet or I wouldn't get access to my account again. So I had to do that.
Okay. I'll give a rough translation though. At real Donald Trump.
It's not it's not a translation. It is. Yeah. It was written in English.
It is written in English. I'm just trying to give a.
Trump writes in English. I thought he wrote in crayon.
Hops writes in it. Yeah. Okay. Now, I just want to ask. I know there's not that many people in the chat, but do anyone think Hops was over the line here, or like me, do you think that I gave a very surprisingly sober assessment of the 45th president? Now he says, "You're right about the world watching. You behave like a weird combination of a petulant child and a mob boss. Now go resign and go to prison, you stinking orange pile of starched diarrhea and congealed gonorrhea discharge."
Okay, up until the last couple of bits, I have said things to Trump that were almost as bad.
I think that's a surprisingly sober assessment myself.
I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, you're talking about a man there who likes to be peed on his face. So, I mean...
Yeah, according to
allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. I forgot the allegedly, sorry.
The allegedly, Sarah,
Actually, I mean, I've heard many people running through that story, and I actually don't believe it unless there is evidence. I think it's a rumor. There may have been something with Russian prostitutes, but I don't think it was that. Let's say that way.
Probably worse actually with Trump.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, to be quite frank, if you're going to, I mean, it could be true, because if you were going to accuse of Trump doing something vulgar, I'm pretty sure they could have thought of something worse.
You can always think of something worse, can't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I could. Yeah, well, I could definitely imagine that he probably went to the prostitutes. I mean, the man's got no respect for women at all. He's a raging misogynist. It's probably the only bit about him that ever does rage.
Right.
So
and we know what he think. You know, we know what his attitude towards sex is. You know, I'm rich, so I can grab whoever I like by the pussy. That's it. You know, he's happy to throw his money around to get what he wants. I mean, let's face it, Melania's only with him because of what she can get out of it. And I don't mean by what she can get out of it in bed. So,
oh, yeah,
allegedly.
Right.
Say what I mean.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say feel sorry for her, because she's a horrible human being. But I kind of on a structural level, or whatever you could call it, feel sad that she went into that. She went into that marriage definitely for the money, and he probably doesn't have any at the end of the day. It's going to be all eaten up by debt and other things. So she has to just think about what she has to endure, and she doesn't get anything out of it in the end.
No, she's not going to get anything now, is she?
Nothing.
There's talk about him going back to his family businesses once he leaves the White House. That's assuming he can walk after he leaves the White House. In case, I mean, you never know. They might have to break his legs or something. We can live in hope.
Well, he can barely sit anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't object if they had to tase him to get him out of there.
Neither would I. CF gas or something.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm good with that. But yeah, there's talk of him going back to that, and in the same breath about that, there's like, if there is a business to go back to, because it looks like he's probably broke now, and he's only been able to maintain his businesses and stuff because of being in his presidential position. I mean, to be perfectly honest, there's been a lot of people who've been saying that Biden should pardon him because it's the right thing to do. I totally disagree with that.
My understanding of that is that Biden could only possibly pardon him of any potential federal crimes.
Yes,
I think where Trump's got the problem is that it's New York where he's going to have the legal issues, and there's not a lot Biden could do about that.
Exactly.
That's my understanding of it. So,
personally, I don't think the president should be able to pardon anyone. That puts one man above the law, and I totally object to that. I mean, it'd be different if you're talking about a parliamentary pardon where the president can recommend one, say, to the Senate or somewhere else, and they've got to rubber stamp it.
Yeah,
but him just off his own back going, this person's pardoned, or this person's pardoned. No, fuck that.
No, Gary,
I don't think any president should be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a raging fault in the middle of the American political system, along with all the other faults the American political system has. I mean, Americans can call it a democracy all they like, but it has the outward appearance of a democracy whilst being a votable dictatorship.
The Danish royal family can actually issue pardons approximately like the president can. How about Queen Elizabeth?
I think with like we got Queen's pardons, that they're generally, it's just more or less something that she signs off on. That it'd be stuff that's something that's recommended to her by either Parliament or the justice system or whatever it be.
Right.
But they are technically called Queen's pardons.
Right. I'll just see. It's not something that happens. It's not something that happens regularly in Denmark, as far as I know, at least. I haven't heard of any famous pardons. Let me see if I can come up with any.
I think it's called the Royal Prerogative of Mercy or something. But it was mainly used for like death sentences back in the day. But
yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with the president commuting a death sentence because America has death sentences. That's fine. But that's not commuting a death sentence is not the same as issuing a pardon. And I have...
I know a royal pardon does not actually, technically, it doesn't count as a overturn of a conviction.
Yeah.
So...
when we're talking about pardons, though, Obama pardoned over 1,000 people during his 8 years as a president, and Trump has actually only so far pardoned 45 people. So he's actually pardoned less people than Obama did. But I object to Obama doing it too. I don't think anyone should be able to do it. I think pardons are wrong, and they shouldn't be a part of any democracy.
I would still say it depends on what they are pardoned for. I mean, if as say you introduce a new policy, like you are decriminalizing use of drugs, for example, that's when you might not only that's when you would not only by effect of the new policy, people that had been doing those drugs would be pardoned automatically, or no longer be under punishment, while you would want to then pardon some of the people who were dealing in drugs as well at that time.
I can see your point there, Hotswatch, but I don't think the power to pardon in that case should rest with one person. It should be part of the legislation that goes through for that policy. So Parliament itself, not just a individual, should have to legislate to be able to issue a pardon that goes along with some legislation. In which case it would have to be an act of Parliament to pardon an individual, in which case it's up for debate. Okay. It's not down to one individual deciding, hey, I'm going to let my mates off, which is exactly what Trump's going to do. It's what presidents have done in the past.
The only good one I remember Trump, the only one, the famous one Trump did was that he pardoned Jack Johnson, which is a little bit late because Jack Johnson died in 1946, so it was a posthumous one. But you're the first black world heavyweight champion who was locked up on some very dubious, very trumped up charges, no pun intended. But it was I think it was called the Mann Act or something, but it was like what was it? Yeah, he was it was sort of transporting a woman across the state lines for quote unquote immoral purposes.
It was he hired a prostitute, and
to be honest, what it really come down to is that the World Heavyweight Championship was supposed to be a white man's thing. And then you had this black boxer, Jack Johnson, come along and just beat every single white chap. And eventually he managed to get a shot because most fighters would refuse to fight him. But eventually a guy named Tommy Burns gave him the shot. He knocked out Tommy Burns. And pretty much every possible white contender to Johnson's title, Johnson knocked out. And Johnson was also, let's just say, Johnson was not shy about flaunting his wealth or his the fact that
and they would have hated that.
And the fact that white women seem to quite like him. So they trumped up these charges to because they couldn't get anyone to actually beat him in the blooming ring. It was
so they beat him in the law courts instead.
well, no, because he fled the United States for like 6, 7, or 8 years, and eventually he did lose his title to a guy named Jess Willard. But Jack Johnson was like well into his late 30s when he lost the title, so he was well past his best when that. And then he went back, and I think he spent a year in prison or something. But
she's still alive.
Who?
Was that Jack Johnson? Was that his name?
He died in 1946.
Right. Okay.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about.
I guess not that.
Yeah, I think it was about when I'm trying to remember when he became champion. It was like 1908 or something. I think.
Right.
He became champion.
We were way back then. No, he wouldn't be alive today.
Yeah. No,
definitely not.
Did you know that what was the name of him? Former presidential candidate of the United States, John McCain. There you go. Did you know that his mother died very recently, like 1 or 2 months ago?
Wow.
108 years old.
Wow, because I was going to say he was getting on when he passed away, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's the one Republican who Donald Trump really hated was John McCain.
There are more, but it's the one that we heard about.
Yeah.
I mean, he hated everyone that he threw under the bus. What was the name of his first Attorney General?
I forget now.
I don't even know.
I forget because Trump has gotten so many people in his cabinet, hasn't he? That you lose track of all the names.
Yeah, and he swaps them out. He swaps them out all the time. So.
Let's see. There you go. Got the Wikipedia list of Attorney Generals. His name was Jeff Sessions. There you go.
Okay, that rings a bell now. Yeah. Yeah. America. Yeah.
We need an American on here to bitch about America.
It's a bit early in the morning for a lot of them, I think.
It is, isn't it?
Okay. Did you know that William Barr was actually also the Attorney General under George H.W. Bush?
No, I didn't.
No. I mean, the things that you sometimes learn by just looking through Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave's up. Why isn't Dave here watching?
Is he? He knows this about because he retweeted, so he knows this is happening.
Dave,
we've got to ask him all about his trip to the dentist.
Oh, he broke a tooth too, did he? Like Chris?
I don't know. No, I think this was planned for a while, but I mean, Chris's one was a little bit more unexpected, wasn't it?
Mm.
Oh yeah, he broke it. Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't remember any of these other politicians from the list, but I do remember the one from the Trump era. Is that just because we tend to forget these people, or did we actually hear more about them under Trump? I think it's more the.
Yeah.
I think we know more of these people because we've heard more about them.
There's only a few people who ever held the post Attorney General that I could ever really think of off the top of my head. Anyway, I mean, I remember
in my own country, I'm going to struggle to remember some of these people.
Yeah, I mean, I
remember,
it's generally the ones who are famous for some reason or another.
They either had to have done something really good or something really bad.
Well, I think the ones the ones I can remember are obviously was this one of Clinton had Janet Reno. I remember her. Obviously, Bobby Kennedy would be probably the most famous one, but But yeah, most of like, attorney generals, I couldn't name many more, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh no. Sorry. How was Bobby Kennedy related to John?
Brother,
younger
brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both assassinated.
Right.
Within 6 months of
He
each
was
other.
his,
Too.
but it was Bobby Kennedy was his brother's attorney general, which was I think was a bit strategic as well, because that I think Kennedy was well aware that J. Edgar Hoover from the FBI might have something on him, so he did a smart thing by basically making his brother J. Edgar Hoover's boss, effectively. So I think there was a bit of a
Hoover was as corrupt as they could come, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, I have to admit.
Yeah. But Bobby Kennedy was probably most famous for pursuing like one of the first like American politicians to like take organized crime very seriously. That's probably what he got reputation for.
Okay. And J. Edgar Hoover didn't like that?
No, he didn't go after like organized crime much. Actually, he basically J. Edgar Hoover likes going after communists. Is basically all he liked to do. Communists and bank robbers, and he didn't. Yeah,
and big crime he didn't care about, and the common trope was that he was probably on the take. So
there's two ways of looking at that. I mean, I think more to the case was I think he knew it was harder to get meaningful convictions, and he was always supposed to get his man kind of thing. So he didn't really do anything about organized crime until he was kind of forced to.
Yeah, he had a really bad reputation though, Hoover.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But Gary's just retweeted that thing. He says he can proudly say that he was born and raised behind Scooby Doo's left ear. And Gary's in the.
Do you scratch it? Do you scratch it, Gary?
I just don't know what it says about Indonesia being a Scooby snack. Trouble is, you see that and you can't unsee it now. You just cannot unsee that.
Well, I grew up on his chin, so yeah, and live on his tongue. Apparently,
I've never been to Scooby Doo.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you?
Shaggy?
That's pretty good, actually.
That's the first time I've ever tried to do an impression of Scooby Doo, to be honest. But
there's a hilarious one that I can't remember what the name of the comedian is, but he does Scooby Doo go, Red Rocket, Raggy. Yeah. I gotta drop that now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit weird if we just end up doing Scooby Doo impressions for an entire stream. Yeah.
Well, Denmark looks like, or rather, the western side of Denmark, the peninsula of Jutland, looks like a garden gnome, or the head of a garden gnome that has caught a cold.
Where were we at before we got sidetracked with Scooby Dooby Doo?
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about Trump. Well, I mean, I see something majorly wrong with the entire American political system when the president can lose the popular vote and the state votes and could technically still get reelected because of states that don't follow the guidelines, because it's not set in stone how they appoint the electors. So they could technically go against that and appoint whatever electors they wanted.
Well, which is
what Trump's trying to do now. So
yeah, well, I mean, technically in the UK, you can lose the popular vote quite easily and still gain a majority in the Commons.
Yes, but at least you still technically won the election. I mean, that's part of gerrymandering, but typically within the UK and Australia, the boundary problems aren't as bad as they are in the US, where they have where they can have some areas which have bugger all people and they elect an official, and then others with millions of people that, you know, well, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people that only elect one official. So, I mean, gerrymandering is basically par for the course in the US. But what I'm talking about is the electoral college here. The fact that the president doesn't win the election by the vote for the president. He wins the election because the electoral college appoints him.
Technically speaking, I mean, really, Americans are not voting for the president; they're voting for the electors. Is what they're doing.
Yes,
and it's the electors that vote for the president.
Yep, but the electors aren't voted indirectly by the votes. That the state legislature gets the opinion of the electors as to who to appoint.
Yes. Yeah.
Of the people who are voting to appoint as electors, but they can effectively ignore that, appoint whoever they damn well please, and get somebody up, which is what Trump's trying to persuade a couple of states to do now. So he can still steal the election. I think it's hilarious that he's accusing Biden and the Democrats of stealing the election, which is exactly what he is trying to do now. Hypocrisy, Trump. Hypocrisy.
Well, this is why they said it was kind of important for like Biden to win by a good, sort of like 10 or 15 votes in the electoral college, because it was always, because it looked like it was going to be like a really tight thing, and it was going to be like 270 to 268 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Trump only needed to swing a couple of, only needed to swing 2 electors over to his side. But if Biden's technically got quite a majority amongst the electors, there's not, even if 1 or 2 of them go rogue, he's still home and dry.
Oh no, Trump would have to persuade a big state like Pennsylvania or someone like that to
and they're not going to do it.
But no, they've already said they're not going to. But the fact that he's actually,
the electors are politically affiliated as well, as far as my understanding is correct.
But they are. No, but he could persuade the state to appoint electors contrary to how the people voted, which is what he's been trying to do. Now, most of the states that are, in those closer states have already come out and said we're not going to do that, and enough of them, I think, have said it now where it wouldn't matter even if he persuaded the other ones, Biden will still win. But the fact that he's done that and these states have had to come out and say they're not going to do it for him just goes to show that he was prepared to circumvent the electoral will.
Again. We'll get off of this in a little bit, I promise you. I can imagine it's probably... imagine most Americans will be sick of hearing about this.
Sorry, never. How about we get on to something that's not political then?
Okay. How about... Okay.
What would that be?
Did anybody see Irish Demon stream earlier?
I did not.
I'm afraid I don't even know Irish Demon. I know Irish Demon.
Yeah, he's
that's the one I intend to watch. That's the one about what happened to Nathan Oakley.
Thompson.
Thompson, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I confuse those all the time as well.
Yeah, they're both arseholes.
Oh yeah.
They're both of them are. But
how do you solve a problem like Nathan?
They yeah, I mean, the only bad thing about it is that he brought Nathan on, but I think it was kind of because the 2 guys who pranked him, I think, wanted Irish Demon to extend the invite. But Nathan, being Nathan, who's come in and was just, he is so butthurt about the fact that he was caught like that. And then he
let's face it.
He tried to be ingratiating a little bit later on, and then right near the end again, he was like, "I'm going to sue." You know. Listen to this. His legal team. This is the guy who was
his legal team.
The legal team. This is the guy who was begging for the ACLU to help him out a few months ago when he was arrested, and no one was going to. No, the ACLU wasn't going to take it because it wasn't. This isn't a fucking civil liberties issue.
Yeah,
it indeed isn't.
Oh, you'll probably fundraise for it.
Mm.
He'll do a GoFundMe.
Isn't he? I mean, he's homeless, isn't
Cheers,
he?
Ed. From what I understand, I don't know exactly what his. I think he travels around a lot, and there's probably people in the flat Earth community that put him up for a few days here and there. I don't quite know exactly what the.
Put him up and put up with him.
Yeah,
I think he makes
a living off of what living he makes off of the flat Earth thing. I think, which is like, which isn't going to be let's be honest. The flat Earth thing was kind of a big thing on like the internet a couple of years ago, but it is dying now.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody's that interested anymore. It's like, yeah, you guys go off in your little corner and be fucking stupid. It's not like any of us care.
Yeah, but I mean, they had a following at one point. They were becoming a movement, and now it's kind of dying again.
Yeah.
So there was always the discussions whether the people who were debunking them were actually also encouraging them and pushing them on to grow bigger. But I think here at the end of the day, the debunking community also made it clear to a lot of people why the flat Earth was completely impossible. So
yeah. Well, I think I've noticed a lot of the YouTubers who were debunking flat Earth. Some of them seem to be getting into other things like the anti people who like the people who are refusing to wear masks and that sort of thing, or the sovereign citizens. They seem to be doing content on that now because it's like
5G causes diseases.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxers obviously are a common one.
Yeah, Team Skeptic. Team Skeptic does that now virtually, and nothing else. Hey, Sam.
Hello.
Yeah, because Team Skeptic. Yeah, he does that, and he does a few of the Karens sort of videos, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, how about FTFE?
He's still. Yeah, I mean, he himself, because he works for Team Skeptic a lot. He said like mainly what he does is flat Earth, but he's saying he's looking for like. He said it's so dead now that it's like I've got to find other kinds of stupid to like debunk, you know.
Yeah, because he kind of I wouldn't say he kind of named himself in a corner by calling himself Fight the Flat Earth, didn't he?
That's why he slightly changed it to FTFE.
Yeah,
like
I can understand that, but I definitely hope that he finds something else, or that he keeps busy because he's been making so good content all the time.
This is the weird contrast. You see the flat Earth thing is dying, yet you've got guys like him and Team Skeptic. Their channel has sort of grown. Simon Dan, who really started off like debunking flat Earth. His channel exploded. I mean, what's he got, like 250,000 subs now or something?
Yeah. He's doing. He's doing all right.
Yeah, he's got a big channel. Dan's really nice too.
Yeah,
I think
Go on, Sam.
I think that flat Earth is potentially now something that, because everyone knows about it and everyone wants to laugh at it, channels debunking it are probably going to get bigger faster.
Yeah, except people are a bit sick of it too.
Yeah.
It only works if you're somebody who's good at debunking and can move on and debunk other stuff.
I don't think you would be. I don't think you would be very successful making a new flat Earth debunking channel at this time.
No.
He would be more original.
It's one of those things. If flat Earth rears its head again in a couple of years' time, because you don't know, do you? It's like these things sometimes go in cycles, don't they?
They do.
I mean, I know. I've noticed, like I said, I noticed some of the ones that have got into like debunking, like doing sovereign citizen type thing, those sort of things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they deserve to be picked apart. Sovereign citizens, that's so dumb.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
The fact of the matter is, there's so much stupid out there. It's easy to find something to debunk if you want.
It ought to be. It ought to be.
There's always going to be something more stupid.
What did I do?
What will be the next most? Okay, here's the competition. Let's decide what the next most stupid thing will be.
Yeah.
So we have flat Earth. What's going to be the next really dumb conspiracy that takes off?
Because you said about like Dan, because he obviously has gone after like he isn't just stuck on flat Earth. He's got very much into other things. I mean, he triggered the hell out of Kent Hovins a little while ago. Simon Dan did. He absolutely triggered Kent Hovins. He got.
Oh, that was fun.
Dan was one of the early whack and atheists. Kent really doesn't like the British YouTubers that go after him.
See, that makes me want to go back and watch more of Simon Dan knowing that.
Yeah. Well, Kent
I think Conspiracy Cats destroyed him better.
Yeah, well, Conspiracy Cats wrecked him.
He absolutely wrecked him in that debate.
I'm not prepared
for
that.
After on his own channel.
Now I kind of hate myself. I had this idea earlier today about a conspiracy that we could make up, or someone could make up, and see if people would run with it, just to see how absolutely stupid people were. But now I don't remember what my idea was. It was something absolutely out of.
Didn't that happen with Scientology?
Yeah, it was still. Yeah. Well,
more of a religion than a conspiracy as such, but I mean, it's a weird thing.
I'll run with it.
L. Ron Hubbard did start buying into his own bullshit an awful lot, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did it. He did it not to take the piss on people, but to actually make money of it. So the intention is a bit different than what I was thinking of. But I was thinking of something completely absurd. Was it that? Oh goodness! Now I don't remember that there are not very many people on the planet or something. I was thinking up because I mean the flat Earth is relying on people who, for example, don't travel very much. Oh yeah, I know. Now I know what I came up with now. Now yes, time zones are a lie.
You can probably get people to believe that. Almost certainly.
That was what I came up with. Could you get people to believe that time zone?
Probably not, because people do phone other people, especially nowadays with the internet, and you get to know that.
You can probably convince people in like rural bits of wherever to. You can probably convince them of it.
Hawk Skull says next conspiracy will be something about the COVID vaccine that turns us into cyborgs with nanotechnology. You know, I've heard there's crap like that already going around.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
if that was true, I'd be much more, even more eager to get a vaccination. But I guess that's just me.
You could probably persuade them. You could probably persuade them that COVID is made up. That the governments are actually killing people to convince us to take this new vaccine, which is going to be a mind-altering drug that makes us sheeple and under the control of them.
It's a really good conspiracy idea, Jen. Problem is, they've already done it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Not only have they already done it, they've already JQ'd it as well.
Am I corrupt? Oh, hello. This isn't.
COVID was convenient, wasn't it?
Wants to ask if he can he ask a
Why would you want a fashion question?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, but you're probably asking the wrong group of people here.
Hey, speak for yourself. Sam and I are here. What are you talking about?
Actually, sorry, I forgot Sam's here. Yeah.
Oi, fuck you. Right.
And here ends my and Jen's friendship.
Hey there, Kareem, let's have it. What's your fashion question?
Yeah, way to put pressure on me though. I just like
you're fabulous. Sam's fabulous. So.
Yeah.
But,
but I mean, COVID did come
Sam's
in
young
kind
enough
of
to be fashion conscious. That's what it is.
COVID did come in kind of convenient, didn't it? When Flat Earth was dying, then suddenly all the world was talking about COVID, and there was something new to cook up conspiracies about. I think if you're looking at it in a serious way, what will be the next conspiracy? There will be many more conspiracies about COVID-19. I'm absolutely sure of that. That's going to be. It's going to be on the topic of for at least the next year to come.
Dude, you're asking the wrong group of people here, mate.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Look, totally wrong. None of us tie-dye. We're not hippies.
Oh, I've not tie-dyed in years.
Tie shirt or jacket around the waist style. You really are asking the wrong bunch of people here.
I can do that.
I'll tie a shirt. I thought it said tie-dye.
I thought it said tie-dye as well. My brain must be going funny.
That's my
probably because you have to see my t-shirt.
How to tie a shirt
it says.
But
the one from Shannon Q.
Michael Raptor's saying that was a weird place of Jen's sentence to join on. Sounded like she was spreading anti-COVID conspiracy.
It's good time.
Now, see, here would be a fun thing to do for any given conspiracy. Would be to do it when there's another conspiracy going around and go, look, there's been a chain of conspiracies in the past that have gotten big, and they've all been created by them to distract from the fact that it's this group over here.
Yeah.
Just a sec. I'll just switch on some lights here.
But this is what happened. I mean, but this is actually sort of how conspiracy. It's like you know the people. I mean, the people that are into flat Earth, right? They're pretty much into everything
else.
Like,
they're probably into every kind of conspiracy.
I make that joke, but it is accurate because conspiracy theories go from one to another, don't they?
Well, you generally find like I mentioned him earlier, Nathan Thompson last night when he was on Irish Demons. Someone actually did ask him one question about flat Earth. What's like the strongest bit of evidence for it? And he went into like anti-vax conspiracies, and I was like, what the fuck's that got to do with the shape of the Earth?
Oh, I love when they try and deflect and dig themselves deeper into bullshit.
Yeah, it's weird. It really is. Yeah, it gets weirder and weirder. It really. But generally, I find if they're into something,
no, I'm not going into it. Jeez. No. Oh, snake. Snake time.
Yeah, danger move.
You got one of Shannon's t-shirts, haven't you? I just noticed.
Yeah, sexual humanist.
Well, guess now there's 2 snakes on the stream.
There are.
We only need Mero really now. We got all the snakes in the community.
Ada just wants me to take my top off. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go and check some of Jen's past videos,
Yeah. Go check my past videos. I'm not doing it on stream. It's too easy to just mess that up. Although apparently, Purple is taking. I put out a challenge to Purple. If he was prepared to go do a naked stream, I'd do a naked stream, and he's taking me up on it. So we have to figure out a way to do it without showing too much stuff.
Mike Raptor, it says sexual humanist is what his shirt says. If you check out, I believe, is it Shannon Q? I think that's from her store, isn't it? It's Church of Sexual Humanism.
Yes, Church of Sexual Humanism. That's over a year ago now.
Yeah. Well, that was funny because didn't they raise some money or something for an LGBT student for a scholarship and donated it in Ken Ham's name?
They did. I made a song about it.
That's what they did, in Kentucky, something local in Kentucky, close to the Ark, if I understood correctly.
I'm a sexual humanist. That one.
Yeah. That was that was really, that was what the thing that I just loved, the fact that they actually did the did that in Ken Ham's name. I thought was hilarious.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, and then asked them to attribute that to him in the in the papers and everything. So Ken Ham is attributed as the person who donated money to an atheist organization, basically.
Yeah.
But no, LGBT
organization.
That's right. It was.
Yeah.
In his mind, possibly even worse than atheist, but I don't know.
Cute. I like that one. Do you see Microraptors? But
yeah, Q Shannon.
I want Shannon to talk about conspiracies and call herself Q Shannon. I love that. We've got to suggest that to her.
That would be cool.
Could be like a character. That could be a character for her. It's like, you know how Mero does Mero Magdalene. You know, you could have Q Shannon. Because someone's got to suggest that to Shannon.
I don't know. All these people who have snacks. I couldn't have a snack. I've got 3 cats.
They're easy peasy. They're easy pets to have. This one hasn't wanted to.
Sex guy.
They're easy pets to have. This one hasn't eaten for at least a month now, nearing 2 months.
Really?
Yep.
How come? Because usually you feed them once a month, don't you?
No, I would actually not usually feed them about once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But sometimes, for ball pythons, it may be an issue if you change their environment. And I've moved this guy to a larger tank. The old one you can actually still see just behind me. So he got a significantly larger one now, and he hasn't wanted to eat ever since. But it was the same thing when I initially bought him. He didn't eat for the first half year.
Drop my hip, please.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I really need to get a new set of headpieces.
But the problem, the issue being, I've got a mouse actually in a small cage in my kitchen. Which I'm going to feed him whenever he wants to eat again. And but until then, I'll have 2 pets. And the mouse is one that you actually have to feed regularly. And
do you live feed? Do you hopswatch?
Yes, I do, because he doesn't want to eat anything else. He doesn't want to eat dead mice. He's a ball python. He's not a corn snake or a rat snake.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd actually heard that. Mara often says that she wouldn't live feed because there's always the risk that you could actually hurt the snake.
There is that risk, but if they really don't want to eat anything else, there's the risk of them dying of hunger, basically.
Yeah.
So I have to do that, and it has been working fine up till now. Now it just doesn't want to. What I do is I place him in a separate box. I'm not feeding him in the tank, because that would mean every time I open the tank, he thinks there will be food and he'll bite me. Yeah. So I feed him in a different box outside the tank, and I put the snake in. Then I put the mouse in, and I wait for a few minutes to see if he goes for the mouse. If he doesn't, I pick up the mouse again, places him in his cage, and then the snake back in its tank.
So for a while, you've got a pet mouse.
Yeah, it seems so.
What happens if you get attached to the mouse?
I don't, but my daughter tends to do sometimes, get a bit attached to them. But she understands. She understands how nature works. I mean, it's having a snake as a pet will teach your kids how nature works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you've got a cat and a dog, and I do admit that cats and dogs are more entertaining pets to have, but you feed them dog food and cat food, and you can't really see that those have been live animals back once in a while. So I think it's a healthy little educational thing to have snakes. The reason I have snakes, by the way, not cats and dogs, is that I'm allergic to cats and dogs. So that's that, or at least I used to be.
That's fair.
I don't seem to be reacting that much to cats and dogs anymore. But I won't be getting myself a cat before I'm absolutely sure that I am actually no longer allergic to them.
That's fair. See, I've got a friend who has a bearded dragon and a cat, and I've been told bearded dragons and cats don't tend to get on, but
Okay.
he seemed to. He seemed to. So.
Okay.
I got 3 cats, so I wouldn't risk having a snake.
Nah.
I did have. Well, at the beginning, about 6-7 months ago, I had 5 cats. One of them decided to adopt the next door neighbor. He doesn't want to come home, and so the neighbors go, "Oh, well, I guess I've got a cat." And the one died the other week. She'd been sick anyway. I was actually planning on taking her to the vets to have her put down, and she up and died. Which yeah. I mean,
it's like, nope, doing it myself.
Yeah, did it herself, all on her own. So,
right.
Not going to replace her because there's rules about how many cats you can have now. There wasn't when I got them originally, so almost down to the limit.
But did I get to tell you that the mouse actually escaped yesterday?
Oh wow!
And I had to chase it around my whole apartment here. It started. I discovered it early in the morning. I heard something doing about here behind my my bookshelf, and I went to see what in the world that was, and I picked up some pages I've got, and just saw the hind legs of the thing, and I thought, oh my goodness, do I have a mouse again? Because I used to have actually a wild mouse running around, and eventually I after half a year or so I caught it in a mouse trap, and now I thought I had another one, but then I thought, oh goodness, I fed it last night. Have I forgotten to close its cage? And yes, indeed, I had. So I had to find the bloody thing, and it's quick. I mean, you have no idea how quick a mouse can be. And it's just a little thing, and the place you want to pick them up so that they don't bite you is the tail. So you have to just catch them by this very, very thin, small tail to put them back in the cage.
A pain in the neck to pick up.
What's that again?
A mouse is a pain in the neck to pick up. My little sister once tried to pick one up because we knew someone who had a pet mouse, but she didn't pick it up by the tail, so she got bit.
Oh, right.
Oh, really? So if it's not by the tail, you will get bit?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially.
So unless, of course, it's a proper pet and they're used to you, I suppose.
Yeah. And you can actually... Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
No, you're gone.
So the thing with mice is you can train them not to bite, but they are instinctively bitey, and ferrets are the same apparently, because like one of my friends got ferrets, and my little brother picked up the ferret.
Oh yeah.
And the ferret just went and bit him on the nose, hung on and refused to let go, so he had a ferret dangling off his face.
I should laugh at that, but that's funny.
It is.
Ferrets are very bitey.
Yet rats aren't. Rats
can be bitey if they're badly behaved, but if you train them well, rats are one of the better behaved rodents.
Yeah. Rats are smart.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I still don't particularly like them and wouldn't want one as a pet, but they are smart. You can even train rats. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. The most dick of a bird I've probably ever seen is one of my exes had a grey African parrot. And whenever I went near the kitchen, it used to call the dogs. It didn't like me.
Yeah, I took some I'm sure this has come up on one of Dave's streams the other day. I think Stool was making some comment or something in the in about budgies in the. So I said, well, you could train the budgie to answer questions on here. You know.
Yeah, that would work.
Which is a joke,
Then he wouldn't have to bug. Then he wouldn't bug. Then he wouldn't have to bug all of us to go on his show, would he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'd be so much better.
I'd say we've had a number of budgie regards, and not got one that managed to learn to talk.
Then they never learn the words you want them to learn.
No,
True.
I've heard that.
I mean, I have tried so hard to teach my friends Budgie to say fuck, and it won't.
See, if I want to scare certain people off, there are certain pets I could get. For example, like Microraptor said that their mum hates rats. If I wanted to scare my mum off, I'd just get a pet pigeon.
Yeah? Flying rats.
Yeah, because honestly, like half of my family despises things that fly, and especially my mum is terrified of them. So,
Yeah, I never understood that, why people are afraid of birds. But my good friend Klaus, who's on my birthday stream, he's afraid of birds as well, for some reason.
Yeah, I don't mind birds. It's rats, and I'm not keen on mice and rats, and I hate horses.
Ah.
Yeah, I know it's not a very girly thing to say that I hate horses, but I got bitten by one as a kid, and it gave me paranoia for them. So
I understand. Horses are big.
Yeah, horses are big.
Horses are big, but horses are assholes.
Yeah. See, I've got a cousin who has horses, so I think I can be justifiably concerned by horses, or at least nervous around them.
Yeah, but basically they're just very afraid, as far as I understand. They kick everything that might hurt them, and they believe that everything is basically there to hurt them if it moves.
Oh yeah, they're like a paranoid.
Yes, absolutely. They're paranoid animals. That's an apt description. And I've had friends, girlfriends even, who were riding horses, and they had some good stories about the difference between cats and dogs that live around horses. Like dogs, very, very, very quickly learn just to stay away from them entirely, while cats kind of seek out exactly how close they can get to them, and then starts doing things that they know will annoy the horses. Cats are just assholes like that. But I really love that.
Can definitely be assholes,
because that shows the difference between cats and dogs so beautifully, doesn't it? I mean, dogs are just so sensible, and cats are just assholes, even worse than
I'm not a cat person,
horses, basically. I am very much a cat person, I will say, and them being assholes is one of the most endearing traits, as far as I can see. But that's just me. I guess it's because they remind me of myself.
Fair. See, my mum's cat and me have a bit of an agreement that we stay out of each other's way, because I kept accidentally standing on it and it kept accidentally trying to scratch me.
There was no accident about that. The cats do not accidentally try to scratch people.
I say accidentally, but
accidentally.
Yeah, but in fairness, it was an accident that I kept stepping on it, because the cats kept running across my feet, and I'm a clumsy.
Well, the little tricks cats will try and play on unsuspecting humans, like when they roll over and make out they like want their belly rubbed the same way a dog does, and then you just know if you got your hand goes down there, it's.
Most cats hate to have their bellies rubbed. So
no,
you wouldn't want to do that.
It depends on the cat, though. I mean, it's like most cats hate water, but one of our cats, if you're up near one of the sink in the laundry or something like that, he'll come up because he wants a wash. It's just the way it is. But again, you couldn't tickle him on the belly. But one of the other cats, you could pick her up and hold her upside down and scratch her on the belly, as long as you put her back down in it before she gets pissed off. Because she does eventually get pissed off because she doesn't like being held upside down. Not that it's not the belly scratching; it's the being held upside down bit she doesn't like. But you can do it for a little while, and then she tries to get up, so you make sure you let her go, and she's fine. And the other cat just completely ignores people. So yeah.
Well, animals have personalities as well. I mean, the mouse that I had for half a year, the last time this bugger didn't want to eat, was completely different than the one that I have now. The one I have now is extremely shy. It's dug itself into the cage so that you can't see it. Only comes out to eat and drink when I'm not there, and basically just tries to hide as much as it can. And the other
because it knows you're going to feed it to a bloody great big snake.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem to be all that bothered when it's in the box with the snake. It doesn't really care at all about the snake. I mean, the least bit.
It will.
No, it will only care for a short while once the snake finally decides to hunt it. But when I put it down with the snake, it doesn't care. I mean, really, it doesn't care at all that the snake is there. Anyway, now the other mouse that I had would sometimes, when I was in the kitchen, actually crawl out of its cage and sit there. And then if I saw it, it would quickly run in again, as if it was just playing around with me. But it was apparently not afraid of me, to the extent that my present mouse is. And it didn't try to escape. I mean, it actually felt at home in that cage.
Yeah. So you must have felt bad about feeding that one to the snake.
Well, I mean, it's just the greatest quote again on animals is animals are a lot like people. Some of them act badly because they've had a hard life or been mistreated, but like people, some of them are just jerks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
this is the Simpsons again. But yeah, there was back in those days when the Simpsons was actually good. You know, which seems like a distant memory now.
Hi, Donna.
I was actually thinking,
Donna,
do any of you watch Rick and Morty?
Do you know, I have never.
I love Rick and Morty.
It's one of those things I've mean to sit down and watch because everyone keeps telling me I've got to watch it, so I must sit down and find the time to watch it.
I love Rick and Morty, but the question because you have a good point with The Simpsons. It kept on for way too long. But how about Rick and Morty? Should they actually make another season, or should they stop it now and let it be?
Okay, hold on. I need to settle this. Donna, how am I stalking you when you're in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I have weird experiences with Rick and Morty in that the one time I watched it was after a particularly interesting Christmas party where I ended up back at my ex's house, and we were exes at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we just watched Rick and Morty, and I ended up staying over at their house.
Is that a euphemism?
No, but it nearly was. It was just that they were too drunk to consent.
Oh wow.
Okay. But anyway, should there be another? How do you think the last season came on? Because I kind of already have a sense of fatigue in the last season.
I think it needs another season because I'd like them to finish off some of the threads that they had I know they're contained episodes, but they've had threads going throughout it, like the like Evil Morty and that. So I think they need to finish that off either in a Rick and Morty movie or as another season, even if it's a short season. They need to tie up and finish those things off. But yeah, I think probably one more season is probably enough for Rick and Morty. Right.
I would. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't even mind that much if they leave it where it is. But I think that two seasons more, and it will do more harm than good. I'm
So
quite
there's
sure,
a
but
f-
could
there's
do
a
another
few-
season as well.
I think there's a few of them that need to sort of wind up now. I mean, I think South Park's run its course, honestly.
South Park ran its course at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was brilliant at one time, but
I've never seen South Park, honestly.
Really?
Don't bother with any of the new stuff. Go back and watch the first 8 or 9 seasons, and they're brilliant. And then after that, it all just starts to.
I
circle the
have a long list of. I have a long list of shit to watch, but I don't know what I should actually bother with sometimes, because it's like loads of people keep suggesting The Big Bang Theory, but I can't be asked. Hello.
Yeah, I'm not watching that neither. I'm not watching. What's the name of that series? The one everyone's been talking about, fantasy series, the last many years, and I've never watched it.
Game of Thrones?
I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones. I haven't even watched a minute of Game of Thrones.
it's not bad.
No, I don't think it's bad neither. But I haven't been interested, and for some reason.
Some of it's good and some of it's very average as far as Game of Thrones goes.
But the other thing I was thinking, one series.
It got weaker as it went along, Game of Thrones, I think, but.
The one series I think that went for exactly the time it should, not too long, and just the right amount of time. That was Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, that was sort of stops just about
with the movie, didn't it?
I will say in the chat, I've still got a couple of spots open in here. Anyone's interested? Donna, Microraptor, either of you. So I do have this policy of only letting people in I know. But,
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I haven't watched season 2 yet, so.
Oh damn it!
I haven't got Disney Plus, so I've seen season 1. I've been trying to keep away from spoilers for that. Although I do understand that the chest armor. I do understand the chest armor of the female Mandalorian caused a little bit of a kerfluffle with. I think it's becoming an annual event. I think they brought
Katie Sackhoff back, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I loved her in Battlestar. But I think
she reprised the role that she voiced in
was it Clone Wars? Was it?
Clone Wars? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No, was it Clone Wars or was it? No, I think you're right. It was Clone Wars. Yeah. So she reprised her role in live action, and so I thought that was awesome. So of course, this season we've got a live action Ahsoka as well.
Yeah. My character, I was just sort of saying if I was just sort of saying I've got a couple of spots open in here if anyone wants to jump in. I don't know if you did or if Donna, if she's still there, wants to jump. I do have this thing of only letting people into the hangouts that I know. So
chat link in my chat group, and if one of them wants to hop in,
yeah, sure, okay, you do that, Jem.
At least then they're all people you know.
Yeah.
So, because I believe Donna's in there.
Well, apart from
Microraptor is too.
The one whose name I won't mention, but I don't know if she's still in there or not.
Yeah.
She's the only one I wouldn't let in here. But
yeah, no, I know who you mean.
Yeah. Cool.
We might end up with Sammy.
Yeah.
No, she isn't.
Okay, I thought she was. That's why. Oh, hello. Yeah. We do have a couple of people just jumped in. Let me go down. We have Microraptor. Hello.
Hi,
And
Microraptor. How are you?
Hey.
Jenny.
Jenny, how are you?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Jenny.
Microraptor. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, Echo.
Jenny.
Jenny,
Exactly.
Someone still has YouTube running in the background, apparently.
I think
Yeah.
Microraptor potentially has a
Yeah,
lot of
that
an
was me. That was me.
I was thinking. Oh, you've both muted. Jen. Okay.
Good morning.
Hey, Jenny.
Good
How are you?
evening.
Microraptor. I
I'm
think it
okay.
might be you. So if he's got the
What?
stream running, I don't know. So,
Yeah,
someone's got
I
the
have.
stream. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I had, but I don't now.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
God, the type's too small. I can't see who's all here. Let's see. Oh, Microraptor. Hi.
Hi.
I can do that. makes it easier.
The sun's breaking up. It'll get better in a
And
minute
I've
or
got the
two.
logo all plastered on my head.
Oh my god. Yes, I will agree with Tree Tech. The episode
Sadie.
where
I haven't seen you around for a long time. Sadie.
Hi Sadie.
Hi.
Hello.
That
See you.
the episode where Oprah's Minge held everyone hostage at gunpoint was hilarious. It was a brilliant episode of
That's
South
South Park. Yeah.
Yeah, that was South Park. Also, the episode where Cartman had the whole hand, which way? That way, hand puppety thing. You know, with the
J-Lo one.
J-Lo, yeah, and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, that was.
And Jennifer Lopez gets a boyfriend.
Oh, he ends up.
Just how messed up is Cartman?
He does. Yeah, he does this blatantly racist hand puppet of Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
And then who ends
masturbates a
up
guy in
actually?
a car.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. That's right. It was Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I'm like, you what? I mean, how messed up is Cartman? But how messed up is the entire rest of society in the South Park world? That how is that?
Yeah, but I kind of the point of South Park, isn't it? That everything is messed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything in South Park is messed up. Don't look for it to South Park for any great insights on society. It is just messed up.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the best commentaries they did was on Facebook when Facebook was like the big thing. I thought that was their commentary on that was fantastic. I thought with like when Stan that they make a Facebook profile for Stan, but he just doesn't really want to get too involved. And then you have everyone like his dad coming up to him saying, "Oh, so it's like you got a Facebook page?" "Yes, Dad. I don't really want to get too much into it." Says, "Okay. So I'm not your friend."
Yeah.
It's like everyone's coming up to Stan. Look, you didn't like my status, it's all that sort of thing.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, I very rarely open my Facebook because when I do, half of the feed is Bible quotes.
Okay.
Oh, family.
Yes, family.
Right.
Oh, hello.
We lost
Jenny.
Jenny. She'll be back.
Yeah. But yeah,
And then she'll be back.
There we go. Yeah, I enjoy. I think like a lot of things, South Park, Family Guy, all these things kind of run their course,
Right.
Yeah. The Simpsons has they done over 500 episodes or something, haven't they? And you're gonna run out of ideas eventually.
If you get extra people hopping in, Jeff, we can always rotate a bit or whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy to hop in and out if we want more people.
If you considering I posted it in the chat group and there's what 20 odd people in there.
Yeah, they probably think this is on your channel or something, Jen. So
I think that's what Jenny did, wasn't it? You thought this was on mine, didn't you? Sorry.
Yeah, if I knew it was Jeff, I never would have showed up. You know.
Yeah. He already insulted me earlier. He said I had no fashion sense. Absolute prick.
Well, I'll kind of agree with that. I mean,
Oh, fuck you too.
thank you, Jenny.
no, actually, I said that just because it would be funny. I love that
Yeah, I know.
topic. I love flowers.
Strangely enough, it was funny when I said it as well, and but it's still
It was funny.
We got the I don't know if he's still in the chat, the guy, but he was asked us the weirdest fashion questions. It's like
He asked a fashion question about doing something about tying your top around your waist. How do you do that? So Hopscotch stood up and did, and he goes, "No, I was asking Jen to do it." Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not taking my top
nice try.
Well,
Yeah, nice
to
try.
start with, you got to have a thin enough waist.
Oh
No. I was saying I could never do that.
I couldn't on this. The sleeves are too short.
See, I could do it, but none of you'd see.
Yeah.
Well, because you're not got your video on.
Well, yes, I've not got my video on because I'm sat here eating cheesy chips and drinking cider for breakfast.
Naked?
Not entirely.
Oh my word!
Oh.
There's people talking Ren and Stimpy in the chat here. I think.
Happy, joy.
Yeah. That is going back some.
Spy versus Spy. Oh, Spy versus Spy was awesome.
Oh, I just noticed the snake. What is that?
It's a snake.
Oh. Hop's a snake.
What
We were
snake?
just talking, Jenny, we were talking about him for like half an hour. You know.
Yeah, we were.
Well,
Okay, never mind. It's a snake.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we were talking about that.
It's just your common everyday garter snake.
Yeah.
What again? It's a ball python. If you want to know the species.
Yep.
It sounds like a load of bull.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, it's also called a royal python, actually, and allegedly because Egyptian pharaohs would use them as jewelry. And I kind of like the idea because they are, I think, very beautiful, and that docile nature would make them, apt for that.
It looked very creepy when you had it around your neck before. I understand that it's safe to do that, but it looks kind of creepy.
Yeah, well, it was becoming a wee bit tight actually at that time. So yeah, I can understand that, but no, it's not strong enough to strangle you. You usually doesn't like to.
Hey, Jenny.
This month.
It's good to
I had to
actually
comb my
see you.
hair.
Try to get away, but not today.
Ilya, hiya.
Hi,
Hi,
Ilya.
Hello, yeah.
I know her. So now she made her name hard to type in
I know.
YouTube. Jeez.
Well, it's all right if you're on
no orange box for you.
It's all right if you're on your like computer or something. If you're on a mobile or something, which I quite often am, it's a bit.
Wild Ilya appears.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But
If you want to hop in at all, Ilya, there's a link in my chat group.
yeah, we can do some rotating in and out. So
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Sleep.
So God, what else has happened?
I
we
slept
talked-
all day yesterday.
Well,
We could have done with you earlier, Jenny,
because,
because we were tearing Mr. Trump apart and we were deciding which corners of the earth to send the bits of him.
I just we've torn Trump apart. We've torn Nathan Thompson apart. So yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
See,
mix
when you
those two.
go-
You never know what kind of monsters you could create.
Oh, wouldn't you love to see those two in the same room?
No.
No. Oh, I think it'd be
See,
great.
what
I
if
thought you were going all Frankenstein on us, and we, Dr. Frankenstein on us, and we were going to cut bits of Trump up and bits of Thompson up, and maybe a few other idiots like Pence and Giuliani. Sorry. Although you wouldn't want to use his head because the die would just run down and fuck everything.
Well, if you wanted to make a baby, you'd have to use Trump's hands.
Yeah, right.
See, the other thing you could do, of course, is you could go a little bit biblical on it. Take Trump, split him into 50 or so pieces, and send him to the different states.
All right.
that way.
Well, which state's going to be unlucky enough to get his penis?
And then the Proud Boys could go to these
Florida,
one,
Alabama.
this one
Alabama.
Yeah,
Florida.
Florida, the penis state.
Penis.
What was the name of that prostitute he had sex with?
Stormy Daniels.
Melania?
Yes, Stormy Daniels. We should give it to her as a trophy. We put it in like a trophy case, and here you go.
Duplicate it to so that it can be used as a container for copies of Mario.
Well, you'd have
Mario,
to assume that with Rick and
whatever that
Mortis,
is.
it'd be the first time he'd been hard in years.
How do you know that?
I'm just assuming it. I said you'd have to assume. I didn't say I knew.
It's a presupposition, is what it is.
Yeah, it's a pre-sup. Yeah.
Yeah, you should take that one to Darth Dawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thoroughly enjoying this. I'm not going to concede thing. It is just such a complete
My snake
act of a
actually
child.
technically
It's so
Don't
funny.
you just love the new
Knocking
Minnesota
itself.
count? Is it?
Oh,
Isn't,
pretzel.
was it Minnesota or is it? No, it's Minnesota.
No,
where
it was
the one.
Milwaukee County, 132.
Milwaukee County. It's Milwaukee County. Yeah.
That's my hometown. Yay!
Yeah, so they've counted. They finished counting the votes in that particular county, and Biden got more.
I could have told you that would happen.
and it cost them $3 million.
Well, that particular county didn't, but
The only reason Milwaukee County gets any red votes at all is because there's a couple of suburbs that are
Who's
red.
echoing?
yeah. Oh, we got echoes again, have we? Yeah, we do. Oh,
no, it's gone. It seems like it's gone now.
That,
by the way,
that mall shooting that just happened a little while ago was a couple days ago was Milwaukee County.
I was say Jenny, Microraptor, you weren't here at the beginning, were you? So I'll just go about what we started with. Hops is in Twitter jail right now.
Oh,
actually, we didn't start with that. We were going to, and we ended up talking about Trump.
Can I actually?
This is why he's in.
Can I put?
Oh yes, that's right. It was too.
Do I have a wrench?
You should have. I've checked your chat.
Oh, as far as I can see, I do not have. If you give me a wrench, I could post a link to my to the Twitter that actually works now.
You're modded now.
You need to put up Sadie's comment. Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Let's see.
Yeah, you should have a wrench.
So I put my working Twitter account in the to stay there, even though I don't have a wrench. So
you should have now.
I guess. Oh, maybe you added it. But
I just gave you a mod. I thought I'd given you a wrench beforehand, but yeah.
I've got one now.
Wonderful.
Let me just see. I may need to put that in there again, or a spanner. Hey, Jeff, have you ever used the word spanner as a derogatory?
Usually preceded by the word wank.
A wank spanner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Okay, so if people can actually still follow me on my regular Twitter, only I won't be able to respond. I will be able to send DMs though. But if you want to follow me on my backup account, go to that account there and apply for. I'm keeping it private because I don't want to be reported again. I guess someone must have reported that tweet. So
I'm sure there's the odd Trumpanzee that you annoyed with that tweet.
yes, there would be, wouldn't there? And I mean, we know how triggered those people get, and we know how want to cancel people all the time and get all whiny when you do the whiny snowflakes that they are. But are you familiar with the Creaky Blinder?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, we love that channel. And yes, and I love that the worst thing almost that he calls anyone when he's really pissed with someone who thinks who he thinks is absolutely the stupidest you can get. That's when he calls them a spanner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spanner is a fairly common term for someone who's being a complete dumbass.
Well, Wank Spanner's like the favourite one of Jutmonk off the I Network. That's his favourite insult.
Okay.
We could just call them cock-wombling wank spanners.
Yeah.
Cock-wombling is reserved for politicians generally.
Cock-wombling wank spanner.
Cock-wombling wank spanner.
Because Jenny and Microraptor weren't here. You okay with me reading out the tweet again that got you
yeah, sure.
in lockdown? Right, Jenny, Microraptor, I'll ask your opinion on this. But do you think Hopswatch went too far here, or do you think he made a fairly sober assessment? At real Donald Trump.
Well, I can't read it because these tweets are protected.
I'm about to
He's going to read it out
loud for you. So
okay.
If you listen. So your rights about the world watching. You behave like a weird combination of a petulant child and a mob boss. Now go and resign and go to prison, you stinking orange pile of starch diarrhea and congealed gonorrhea discharge.
Oh, right. They probably didn't like gonorrhea at all.
I thought it was a very sober assessment myself.
I don't think that goes too far. I've said much worse things than that.
Right.
I think it's the word
things
gonorrhea.
That are close to that bad. But yeah, it would have been the good word gonorrhea. Although I've called people syphilited dirtbags as well. So I mean,
dirtbag. I'll see if I can remember that. I like that.
Syphilited dirtbag. Yeah, it's a good one.
Because at a time I came up with gonorrhea discharge because I thought that just calling people things related to urine and feces got kind of boring. I wanted to expand the vocabulary in those respects. So I thought, why not going on to sexually transmitted diseases? Syphilitic dirtbag. I have to remember that. That's a good one.
See, that's it. See, I don't think
I'm going to get into Twitter jail the minute I get out of it again. Because I'm going to use that on someone, probably Donald Trump.
Yeah, probably.
That normally happens to was it off the I Network, Dick Dawson. Every time he gets out of Twitter jail, he ends up back in there within hours.
How many accounts has Dick been through now?
I don't know. I think there's someone who deliberately just goes after him. I think. I don't know. But...
They just have him flagged.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to Jenny. If you want to follow me on that account, just press follow and I'll accept you.
I hit follow.
Yeah. I already sent you a follow request, Hopswatch, on your new account.
And I have
accepted
accepted that one.
Cool.
But I'm not getting one from Jenny, from what I can see.
But I did. I really did.
I'll try to refresh. There's nothing weird.
How long are you in jail for?
1 week.
Oh, yeah. See, I've had a week's jail as well before, and that was why I created my new account, which is now my current account. I use that one all the time. I just gave up on the other one. I keep that as my spare if ever I get a 12-hour or whatever. But yeah, I got my time out for suggesting that we should exterminate viruses.
What?
And then I put up I said we should exterminate all viruses. Put up a little picture of a Dalek, and I got pinged for inciting violence and yeah, I got pinged for inciting violence. It's a fucking virus.
Yeah, that's weird.
I would have tried to
and a fictional character.
Yeah.
I would have tried to
Dalek.
appeal that. I mean,
I did because
Okay.
that's why I created the new account. I created the new account. This was before COVID. I created the new account. I appealed it, and they turned down the appeal.
Oh goodness.
Hopswatch, my Twitter thing is at BONZOIX.
How much again?
BONZOIX.
Gotcha. I found you.
Jenny's in my group, Hopswatch. So
Yeah, I
find her in
have
there.
found her, and now I am following Jenny. I guess you can follow me back now.
Yeah,
Would be very
and
very
Hopswatch
weird.
was added to our group to my group as well. Jen,
Cool.
if you want to find him in there.
Cool.
I'm curious, Hopswatch, if I found the right account, it says that you are an anarcho-socialist, but I was curious, aren't anarchist socialists
Yeah.
in general? So isn't that kind of, the
Yeah,
Yeah,
socialist
it's
that's
Hopswatch,
the-
Black Lives Matters, Antifa, ACAB.
That's the partly suspended account right now.
Yes, it is that one. Sorry, it's not.
And I'll be back. I'll be
should
back
have-
on that one in a week. I mean, no worries if the other
Yeah,
thing
but
doesn't work.
you can still you should still be able to type on your suspended account in
In DMs, yes, I am.
DM. And what about private groups though? Can you type in there as well? 'Cause they can't
I don't
let
think
you-
I'm in any. Oh, you mean that's where the DMs go as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite sure I am, because that's just DMs, just like all the other things. I can just try it out.
Doc Osiris virus lives matter.
I was curious if
That's insane.
I was curious if anarcho-socialist was different from saying just anarchist, because my impression is that anarchists are socialists, but maybe they aren't. I don't know.
There are some people who call themselves anarchists that are also capitalists. They call themselves ANCAPs, and that has actually become pretty popular, from what I can understand lately.
Anarcho-capitalism is one of the worst concepts in terms of economic concepts.
That sounds weird to me.
And there's nothing anarchistic about it, because you more than accept, you completely submit actually to the authority of money.
Yeah.
So I can't see how you could be an anarchist and be a capitalist at the same time. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It does not function.
Work for me.
No.
Okay, so you by anarcho-socialist you mean the thing I think of, and I just think anarchist. So okay.
Yeah, I pretty much would. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's because of the weird time that we are living in that I have to put in that elaboration.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put this one back into its time.
I'm more of a socialist than an anarchist. So.
Okay. I think I'm best described as social democrat. So I'm not a socialist, but I think that has some good ideas, and capitalism has a few good ideas too. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, well, socialism isn't the same as being a communist, though. So
yeah,
see, I'm awkward in that sometimes I'm a socialist, sometimes I'm an anarchist, sometimes I'm a communist, sometimes I'm a syndicalist. It depends on the day.
See, I just keep it simple. I'm a Republican.
Oh, where's your MAGA hat?
The dog ate it. I'm sorry.
The
dog ate
mask
my
is
MAGA
getting
hat.
bigger and bigger there, Jen.
I have an Obama hat.
You have an Obama hat?
I don't have it here, but I do have one. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
wow.
there's a group in Sweden called the Republicans, and it's such a distracting name because what they mean when they say Republican is that they are against the monarchy. They don't mean Republican as in the U.S. Political party. They mean as in what it used to be in the U.S. and what it still means in Europe. That it is you want a republic.
You think yours is bad, Microraptor? Our Liberal Party in Australia is the right-wing party.
Okay.
Oh, it is. The Danish party Venstre. The name of the party actually means left, and it's also a right-wing party.
Oh,
and then there's also a party called the Radical Left, if you translate the name directly, and they are a social liberal party.
Is it Denmark?
Yes.
Is it Denmark or Norway that has a party that called Høyre, the right?
Called Høyre. That's in Norway.
Okay.
They're called the Conservatives in Denmark, but basically they're the same party. They are sister parties, and the Conservatives in Denmark used to be called Høyre as well, but that's more than 100 years ago now, I think, that they changed the name.
I'm just overall upset with the generalized direction of the whole civilized world these days, leaning towards authoritarianism and hate politics. It's so disturbing.
We're going to come to a point where, and this is more of an economic thing than a social thing, but it will affect the social stuff, that we're going to reach a point where capitalism is literally unsustainable if you are not in the 1%. So either we will swap to something more sustainable, or there'll only be 1% of humanity left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the politics of governing is going to be far more of a significant issue in people's lives than the politics of economics.
See, I thought that you talk about the way party names and stuff out a bit weird. See, Jamaica, the two major parties there are the National Party and the Labour Party, and the Labour Party is like a really right-wing party, and the National Party is like practically Marxist. You know, it's and all they're very, 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 very left social democrats anyway, but bordering on Marxist. But yeah, I thought it's kind of weird that the National Party is the left-wing one and the Labour Party is the right-wing one.
That is quite amusing. It's kind of bizarre to me that people tend to think of things as left and right when most of these people are capitalists, which definitionally is right in terms of like what people tend to judge it based on, because people tend to judge it based on economics, even though social policy should play a bigger role. And that's really bizarre.
Economic policy and social policy definitely interrelate. I mean, in terms of standing on the outside and observing, you can clearly see an association, but the citizenry does not look at it that way. The citizenry, I think, treats them, in their mind at least, as very separate items. They may not actually do that in real life, but their way of thinking, I believe, is very much having them oriented as separate.
But yeah, a lot of people tend to separate them. A lot of people tend to think about religion and social issues as separate, which they should be. But it doesn't tend to be the case in society that that's actually how it works.
Yeah. I also try to avoid the labels when it comes to politics. Like, sure, I say I'm a social democrat, but I'm also like, I want whichever system brings the most amount of happiness, sort of. Like, I want, of course, people to have freedom and to feel like they can live their life the way they want it, as long as in time others, of course. And like, I don't really care if the correct system is capitalist or socialist, or like, as long as it brings that goal. So yeah, it seems
Well,
like for some people that matters much more.
I'm old enough that I'm pretty much going to be dead before any of this really gets to a crisis state. But that's saying I don't expect to live to my 80s. But anyways, I mean, you got a whole bottom row of people here who are going to die if authoritarian rule takes over the world.
It's what? Sam's gonna die.
Yeah, we're all gonna be butchered. Anybody who's anything other than cis het is gonna be extinguished.
Yeah.
It's one of their major tenets these days. Look at Hungary. Look what Hungary's up to.
Hungary's been quite bad for a while now.
About 10 years.
Look what Poland's up to.
Well, ever since like, the rise of
Chechnya.
ever since the rise of Jobbik in Hungary.
Yeah, Poland is looking bad as well.
And Russia and Chechnya and where else? I mean, I think we should make a list.
I think Austria was very close. They almost got a fascist elected, didn't they? And of course, France. I mean, the Front National ended up in the runoff for the presidency. It's between Macron and Marine Le Pen. I know, like, Marine Le Pen's tried to soften the image of that party, but that's still a fascist party, Front National.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It's that the founder of the party, Marine Le Pen's father, is he still alive? What was his name?
Jean-Marie Le Pen. As far as I know, but
is he? I think
as far
he
as
is.
I know, yeah, sure, he was a former member.
Yes, he is. 92 years old.
Yeah, because he part of the reason he formed Front National was that he got a bit big when there was a big march of the British National Front in Lewisham, and they got the famous Battle of Lewisham, where the National Front effectively got the shit kicked out of them. When they tried to march in Lewisham, and pretty much everyone came out onto the streets and said, "You are not fucking marching down here." And one of the takeaways that Jean-Marie Le Pen took from that was he looked at what happened in Britain, and he tailored this whole thing of, well, we can't go out marching on the streets, giving the salutes and all that sort of stuff, and he tried to just tidy up their image and like it's all suits and ties, and we just tone the rhetoric down. But the same vile ideology was under the surface. And then we had the similar problem when thankfully they got absolutely smashed in the UK, but they were about 10 years ago at the British National Party were real. They were
BNP.
They 10 years ago, it looked like they were going to make a breakthrough. It really was scary. And they got two Euro MPs elected, Nick Griffin and Andrew Bronze, and then they almost, it looked like they were going to get a couple of seats in Parliament. But thankfully, really, a lot of the anti-fascist organisations like Unite Against Fascism and Hope Not Hate really organised well to campaign against the BNP and stop them in their tracks, really.
One of the scarier things for me is that I frequently have to teach other people my age who the BNP were.
Yeah.
And they don't know. They pretty much just think that British politics is the Tories and Labour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an American, I can't say that I've ever heard of the BNP.
Be thankful for that, because as I said, if things had gone differently about a decade ago, you probably would have heard of them.
Oh yeah,
they would have been could have been if the left hadn't organised well against them. Which is one of the good things that that's one of the few good things the British left has done historically is deal with fascism whenever it's risen its ugly heads. But there's not much else we do well, but that is one of the good things we've done.
Yeah, well, take a hint from Hovind and Whackham.
Whack-a-mole.
There's I mean, what we've generally found though is you don't necessarily need violence as such, but if you can just draw such large numbers out onto the street that they get so intimidated to even try it, it's actually more demoralizing for them getting the shit kicked out of them, really. But
oh yeah, because if they get the shit kicked out of them, then they get to have a persecution complex.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What happened to them in Southampton a few years ago in 2016? It was the week after the referendum, and there was a group of fascists who called a march in Southampton, and it was like we had like literally days to try and organise a response to them, and we got about somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people out onto the streets. And do you know how many of them turned up? 12. It was humiliating. It was like so humiliating that they've never even thought of trying it again. And it was,
that was like the first year or so of the Trump administration when they'd have a rally. There'd be like a dozen people or so out carrying signs and saying we're in control and all this silly stuff. I'm so glad the fuck
there was a question somewhere. I'm going back up there and look for it. Oh yeah, okay.
I don't think the danger is the numbers. I don't think these are popular ideas, but it is that when they have power, they can do very shitty things.
Yeah, and the thing is that they know that as well. I think frequently they realize that they are the minority, and they try and do shit to become more appearing the majority without having to recruit a bunch of people.
Okay. I'm just going to answer this quick question. They're actually called the Monster Raving Loony Party. They're still about.
Oh, are they still about?
Yeah, still about. Yeah.
I thought they disbanded a while back.
What are they?
No, they're a joke political party.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they normally actually. I mean, their national headquarters is in the county I live in, actually. But their ideology is political satirism, basically.
Here we go.
But they have all
grabbed everyone's links and put them in.
What was that thing about the NHS that they wanted to do? That is in some of the comments following it.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. But we've had some. What was it? This thing about some of their policies on it. I can't remember what they come up. I know there was the one that they wanted to nationalise hot air. I can't quite remember what they said.
Wasn't it everyone had to wear some sort of ridiculous hat on a Tuesday or Wednesday or some shit?
Yeah.
But they're going to make a national hot air grid, were they?
Yeah. And then we've had other characters. I don't even think he was. Well, actually, yes, he was. He is part of the. He joined the monster. He only joined the Monster Raving Loony Party last year. He was. But this other guy, he was party called the Gremloids, off and on. Lord Buckethead. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. Hilarious.
Right. Here it is. They wanted to reduce NHS waiting lists by making them write smaller letters.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the number of entries, not the size of the letters. That I get it. Now I get it because I'm stupid like that. I have to process it for a longer time. Yeah, in Denmark, there are some political developments as well. We at the last general election that was last year. Basically, a Nazi party was running for parliament. It was called Stram Kurs, and they have translated the name to Hard Line. So let's just call them that. And the leader of the party is called Rasmus Paludan. He's an absolute nut job, and he has now started a new church which he calls the Church of, what's the proper saint name of him?
Church of Hitler. No.
No,
Not creativity.
not that one. No,
No, because
the Church of
Jacob, Brian, one true Messiah.
The Church of Jacob, the Moor Slayer, or something like that. There's an old saint who was famous for fighting the Moors in Spain, and he has named the church after him because he really doesn't like Muslims.
Wow!
But he kind. I don't know if he's given up the party. I don't think he has. But he's now also approaching his ambition to make ethnic cleansing in Denmark by also starting a new church. So that's going to be interesting.
Can I ask a question of you Europeans?
Sure.
Is there the awareness there of the contribution the American right-wing funding juggernaut is aiding right-wing politics in Europe?
I've not really heard about it, no.
Characters like Steve Bannon coming over and organizing and making connections between
if they have
rich people and parties.
If they have, they haven't had the same sort of influence they've had in the States.
I have some awareness of it, but I'm also interested in politics, so it's probably general public, probably not in my country.
I've got the Monster Raving Loony Party's manifesto up here, actually.
Oh, please read it. It's hilarious.
You got an A to Z of policy. Should we do this for a bit of fun?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, A. Airbags will be fitted to the London Stock Exchange immediately, ready for the next crash. Okay. Britain will exit Europe and join the Duchy of Cornwall to benefit from tax exemptions.
That sounds like an inside joke.
Yeah. See, some of these will be. Capital punishment will be opposed on the grounds that it's unfair to Londoners. Okay.
Because London's the capital, huh?
Capital, yeah. Yeah. Education in all university tuition fees for women will be free, as we are the strong believers in female intuition. Okay.
Female what?
Right. Intuition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greyhound racing will be banned in order to prevent the country from going to the dogs. The national debt will be cleared by putting it all on our credit card. What have we got here? See, some of these is just like puns. You know, X-ray machines will be manned by a skeleton staff.
What's that again?
X-ray machines will be manned by a skeleton staff.
Right.
See, some of these are just puns, you know, but
Oh, are we reading through policies for the Monster Raving Loony Party now?
yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to disappear and take a call a minute. So I'm back now.
Yeah. I was reading through the manifesto of the Monster Raving Loony Party.
Yeah. I actually had their manifesto opened before I left a minute ago, so that makes it easy for me.
Yeah. Zebra crossings will be made permissible to all animals wishing to cross the road.
Right.
See, I did like one. I think it was like there was something in the 70s. There was like an Isle of Wight independence party or something, and one of their policies was that the Isle of Wight ferry should sell duty free. Yeah.
How far is the distance? 12 miles or something?
Something like that, yeah. It's like between the main, actually, really between the mainland and the Isle of Wight, probably two or 3 miles, if that, in some places.
Here in the area I'm living, we have, of course, that little thing called the Mississippi River, and there's paddle boats on it, and some of them are set up as
Casinos.
Casinos. Yes, thank you. And they're asking for a tax exempt because they're not actually in any state, ignoring the fact that the border of the state runs down the middle of the river. But it's like, what?
That's quite something. My favourite ridiculous policy, and I think this one's also from the Monster Raving Loony Party because satire, is Parliament being relocated to Wormwood Scrubs, which is a prison in London.
Hawk Skull actually pointed out it's the closest point from the Isle of Wight to the mainland is 350 meters, but you are right, but you've got the wrong castle. It's Hurst Castle, not Corfe.
I was thinking of the Isle of Man. I'm sorry, not the Isle of Wight.
The Isle of Wight's the one off the south coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if we've got the Isle of Wight, that raises the question of if we have like the Isle of Vampire or some shit.
Do you have an Isle of Black?
The Isle of Ghouls.
Or as the Isle of Man, do you have an Isle of Animals?
You've got the Isle of Man,
yes.
The Isle of Wight.
Isle of Plants. You know, it's
Isle of
we've got the Isle of Skye.
No, that's impossible. And now I'm being stupid. An isle made of rocks. Come on.
Isle of Rocks.
Isle of Woman. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, the Australian equivalent, which is the Australian Pirate Party, is just it went from being funny to becoming serious. So. They've actually got
in Germany as well, as far as I know, and in Sweden.
Yeah, it became a worldwide thing. It started off as a joke in a couple of countries. Australia was one of them, and it just became serious.
So it did a Warhammer, then it started taking itself seriously.
Yeah, it took itself seriously and is a real political party now with real policies. Some of them are really, really good too. They promote body autonomy, rights for LGBTQ plus people, everything. They're a socially progressive party.
Yeah,
and I think they got somebody elected here last time.
Oh, what's this one? It's interesting. Oh, wrong one. Wrong comment. The Rhinoceros Party pledged to eliminate small businesses and replace them with very small businesses, having less than one employee.
Actually, that carries a bit of truth. Here in the States, we really need to redefine small business. Because you get these politicians say, "Oh, we're going to give all these support to small businesses and stuff," and they're talking about businesses that have under 500 employees.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Now, how anybody with 500 employees is a small business? It's like, what?
Yeah, I think over here you have to have less than 50 or less employees to be called a small business.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
That's a better number. Yeah.
That just makes me mad. Have you heard what Trump is doing in his closing month? We all wondered what the shoe to drop was going to be. They have introduced the paperwork and stuff necessary to make an executive order to open up Alaska's northern slopes for oil exploration.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
With no way to turn it off once it starts.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
It's going to. It appears that it will engage on January 17th, 3 days before the inauguration.
Well,
So
I was gonna say,
nothing Biden can do to stop it at that point.
Once it gets going, no, and before he has power, no. They're legislators may be able to
slow it.
Well, they might be able to slow it. Force hearings or something. Or maybe somebody can draw up a lawsuit or something, and delay it past that the January 20th date.
Surely Alaska is, but of course Alaska is Republican itself, isn't it?
Yes, quite.
So yeah, they're not going to give a fuck. All right, well Alaska's screwed.
Well, Alaska is pretty serious about their environment.
So despite being Republican, they're serious about their environment.
Yeah, except
with the drilling for oil, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're probably right with that, because otherwise it would have been shut down decades ago.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
God, what a tragedy that would be.
I agree with this. By the way, I agree with this political policy for my favourite monster raving loony party policy is to make it illegal to support Manchester United if you were born south of Crewe. I agree with that.
I approve of this as someone from nearish Manchester. United fans are insufferable.
Yeah, actually, Hawkskull, I'm gonna say this just for your benefit, because you'll be the only person who probably will get this. But my first act, if I was ever Prime Minister, my first policy is going to be to declare the Frog and Frigate a national heritage site.
The what?
Hawkskull, the Frog and Frigate.
Is that a pub?
Sounds like a bar.
That is a pub. Yeah, that is a legendary pub.
It's a pub in Southampton.
Even you've heard of it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like a pub.
I was a regular. Hawkskull used to be a regular. Hawkskull and I, we actually have met in real life a few times.
Yeah,
And then we suddenly realised who I was when we talked in a few live chats. So
it's that same sort of thing as up the elephant around the castle sort of stuff, isn't it? Which sounds entirely wrong if you don't know what people are talking about.
We talk about these things as political satire, but in 2020, what would be the cutoff point for something that's too ridiculous for you? For it, like if a politician did something that you'd go, this is too bullshit. Where's the limit?
I don't know. Trump has set the bar so low now; it's almost impossible to satire politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He has just set the bar so incredibly low that anything that you try to do to satire is now just going to be so ridiculously, utterly stupid.
Sorry. Didn't mean to just finish. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. I'll watch you go.
Yeah, but because the number of far right-wing Twitter accounts I started following because I thought they were parodies, and then I found out they weren't. That's an embarrassment in itself. But it has become almost impossible to tell.
Trump really did sound like your ill-educated drunken uncle at a holiday party.
He is somebody's ill-educated.
He's just so completely crude, completely irrespective of everything and everyone. Egotistical son of a bitch. Yeah. God Almighty needs to die.
It's like that relative who promises not to get political, and then 2 drinks in, they're just like, "I am the Senate."
Yeah.
I just want to say for the record, my uncle is a really, really, really nice person, and I really love him. And he would never do anything like that.
See, some of my uncles are great. Some of my uncles, I don't know.
Oh, I would say I don't have any living uncles, but that's not true. But he might as well be dead because I've got no idea where he is.
I have one full-blown alcoholic uncle who I would not even go to a party that he was at, or I would leave one that he came to. He's just such a vile creature.
And still alive?
Actually, I'm not sure. I would think that he's dead by now. But I haven't had contact with him since I transitioned, and he suggested that I stop over at his house so he could shoot me in the head.
Oh, fuck that. Motherfucker.
Well, I told him, I said, look, if you're going to do that, you got to come over to my house.
So you can shoot him in the head?
That's a level-headed reaction to that.
Yeah. A shot in the dark.
Yeah. See, with a lot of people my age, you'd probably get a similar response of why don't you come over here to do it? But that's purely and simply because the joke amongst people my age at this point is that we're all suicidal.
Yeah.
With good reason.
I mean, you lot have got another stupid ass plonker over there in the UK, so.
Yep.
I mean, how do you even parody him? I mean, he's almost bad enough that you can't parody, and Trump's worse.
Yeah, pretty much. I genuinely thought that Trump was a made-up parody character that, like, a bunch of Americans were just trying to convince us of in 2016.
Yeah, and he is a parody. He is every negative stereotype of America. Like, he is a parody.
Yep, that's an excellent way to describe him.
It's a weird clown face that fascism has entered, isn't it? I mean, you're not only you've got Trump, you've also got Boris Johnson in the UK. And they're kind of the same type of clownish fascist, aren't they?
There was warning signs back in 2005. Well, when 2016 anyway, when the top three government posts in the country were held by a racist in Boris Johnson, someone called May and someone called Hammond. So it's like, right, we are trapped in a living episode of fucking Top Gear.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know.
Oh dear.
I really got upset when I was a Top Gear fan for years, and I really got upset when I found out what their politics truly were. It was
what are the politics? I don't know anything about them.
They seem to be
Tory, isn't he? But he's an art. Jeremy Clarkson's an asshole anyway.
Oh, Jeremy Clarkson's an absolute racist, homophobic, transphobic prick.
Yeah, that's a fair summation.
Yeah. May and Hammond aren't as bad, but they're still not great.
James May I can tolerate. Richard Hammond, though, he just reminds me of the little kids that used to stand behind the school bully laughing at all the bully's jokes to in the hope that he wouldn't get picked on. That is what Richard Hammond reminds me of.
Do you know what Richard Hammond reminds me of? He reminds me of a little fox terrier that's running around and around and around and around their master because their master's holding a tennis ball and is threatening to throw it, and then eventually gives up and pees on them.
See, here's the thing: there were jokes about the Mayan calendar in 2012, but has anything since 2012 felt real?
You think we're living as brains in a vat now?
Really? The year I moved to Ireland for a couple of months.
See, the thing is that I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was like, well, in solipsism, what if you accidentally managed to break the brain that you are? And it's like, that would have just explained 2020.
Possibly.
What's that noise?
It's obviously Jenny. Oh, she's playing with her nails.
Should we leave you alone?
Remember Sammy Jenkins? If Britain is trapped in an episode of Top Gear, America is a scene from Benny Hill where he chases half-naked girls around in double speed.
Yeah.
Actually, with Trump in there, Trump's American politics is almost like an episode of Are You Being Served, isn't it?
It's not terribly unlike it. I just wish we'd go back to the opening credits of Monty Python like we used to be. cheap animation and bad mouth noises.
I told you Sammy Jenkins would show up in the chat.
It works.
All right, I'll pay you the
Sammy,
money.
there's a link in my chat group if you want to hop in and chat with us.
Yeah, if we want to rotate some in and out. So
Yeah. No, I think I'll be leaving now. So if anyone else wants to join. So thanks for everyone putting up with me. See you around.
Getting to know
see
you.
you, Hops. You got anything coming up you want to plug?
Not really. No, I would. I mean, at Christmas I may be joining Purple's relay chat once again, but I'm not really sure. I have to get my shit together before I'm doing anything else.
I might join it at some point. I don't know about hosting anything. No, I'm not too sure about that, but I definitely would take. Because Dave's on about doing an episode of Critical Questions at some point in that day, so to just part of it.
That sounds quite fun.
And I'm offering to everyone who's going to do a block to sign me up as a guest. My goal is to be on for the entire length of it, and just switch shows, and to watch me degrade as the day goes on. And...
that's the summer. That's the Christmas. Depending on where I am at Christmas, even though I've told because I've told Perp I don't know where I'll be, so it's a bit hard to say a dish. I would love to do a Stump Me as one of them, but I might do a Boxing Day Stump Me instead.
I would like to show up for at least part of one of them, but I know I can't run any of them, so we'll see how that goes. I might just find myself on one which is Christmas Eve for us if they start on Australia time, or on one that's Boxing Day for us if they start on American time.
No.
And for any content creators that might be doing this, and me as a guest, if you want me to just sit in the background and say nothing, I'll do that too. The idea is to be on everything and to stay awake.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or even fall asleep and just be in the background.
No. Staying awake. I'm 66. That would be miraculous to stay up for that amount of time.
You're never 66.
Okay. Anyway, I'll be off. So
thanks for joining us, mate. You know you're always welcome.
Thanks. No problem. Always remember to drink responsibly. And
nice to get to know you.
So yeah.
We have a flat earther in the chat.
Okay, well,
either that or we have a
it's all right. As long as he behaves himself, we're not.
Either a flat earther or a Poe. We'll see.
He certainly starts out on a good foot. Oh, I used to be an atheist.
See, here's a funny thing about flat earth. I also used to be an atheist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't go to being a Christian.
True. Well, actually, I did. I did. I went from being an atheist to a Christian to a pagan.
We don't know what
really?
Alaska person.
So you were Christian atheist, Christian pagan.
Sammy Jenkins, if you're still about, there is a link in Jen's group if you want to jump in.
Or anyone else is in that group.
I want to ask Flat Earth Alaska a legitimate question. Do you really, really in your heart believe the Earth is flat?
They could be the Scarecrow.
That's fair.
It's taking an awful long time to type yes or no. Okay, come on. The N is on the bottom row. No. Okay, one of those.
Okay, I mean, I've checked this. I've checked out. He's actually got a channel and everything. So I'm assuming it's a hit.
Okay.
So if you're, he or she, I don't know who you are, but they've got a channel.
Do you also believe in well, I'm just going to generalize all the other conspiracy bullcrap that so many flat earthers see.
Please tell us you're at least not an anti-vax.
Don't, Jen.
Okay, never mind. Forget it. I'll stop that.
One cool piece of evidence for the Earth being a globe and for the heliocentrism and all that is that the outer planets, they do a loop in their orbit at certain point, and when we pass them in our orbit, they sort of in the sky it looks like they do a loop in their path in the sky. I think that's pretty cool.
Nerdy! No, nerdy. Bad nerdy.
What's Nerdy doing?
You'll see it in a minute.
No, lizard people had nothing to do with it. It was
Bad
Illuminati.
Nerdy.
That's
Bad
Argonian.
nerdy.
They prefer Argonian. No one who likes telescopes? Okay.
Oh, I would love to get a new telescope.
See, if you get a big enough telescope, you can smack all of the flat earthers on the head at once.
Sam!
Actually, with this group, I'm
we were
the
going to be
one with,
nice to them unless, of course, they stopped being nice.
with this group.
gonna
I'm
be-
the one with the accent. All these people are
Right.
broadcasting from like Europe. I'm
Hi,
the
accent.
guest.
Hey,
This
no,
is home
I'm
for
not
them.
from
Well, yeah,
Europe.
you're one of those Aussies.
My accent isn't heavy, she's big boned.
Same thing, just higher temperatures.
I must remember that one.
But hey, Americans are provincial, so.
Oh dear. All right. Well, we don't want to poke them, but I mean, none of us in here are flat earthers.
I've just posted something in the pro chat. I've just got to step out for 2 secs. I've just posted something in the private chat for your benefit, Jen. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't want to poke you, flat earther, in the chat. I mean, if you want to believe the Earth is flat, you're not hurting anybody, and that's perfectly fine. If you want to believe the Earth is flat, that's fine. Take your little beliefs and believe them. That's fine. Same with anything else you want to believe. I only care about the things people believe if they start hurting other people, like if you're an anti-vaxxer or something like that, because then you start hurting people. So you're welcome to believe your little thing about the Earth being flat, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It frankly doesn't probably make any difference to your daily existence if you believe it, and it certainly doesn't make any difference to my daily existence if you believe it. So believe what you want to believe. That's perfectly fine. I don't actually care, and I'm pretty much sure that everybody here doesn't care if you believe that.
Pretty much.
The only flat earthers that any of us ever care about are those who try to profit off the gullible, and that's only because
like Nathan Oakley and
the ones who are also
he's pretty much the number one.
Yeah. Or people who are dangerous because they go to primary schools and hand out little chiclet things to primary school kids like a bloody pervert. People like that, no. But, I mean, aside from that, if you want to believe the Earth's flat, if you want to talk with friends about flat Earth, then go for it. Go talk to your friends about flat Earth. Okay, flat Earth Alaska. With a question like that, I am pretty sure you're just a troll. So, go troll somewhere else, please.
My favorite ingredient is the orange juice.
Yeah. The tears of flat earthers. That's my favorite ingredient. Okay, well, I mean, in all honesty, flat Earth Alaska, you're saying you're not a troll, But you realize, but if you're going to go down the road of being an anti-vaxxer, you are going to hurt people. Vaccines definitely work. We have the scientific evidence to prove it. They have saved lives. We basically exterminated polio from the world, and polio took hundreds of lives every year. It'd be even worse now because our population centers are even more dense. If we hadn't got rid of polio, there'd be people still suffering and going into iron lungs, and that's not a life people want to live.
I know people who got polio. I'm that old.
Yeah, my mum had polio. She got the milder form of it, but yeah. So we don't want people to have polio. We don't want people to have these diseases. We need vaccines. Look at the current state we're in now with COVID-19. Without us having a vaccine, and smallpox. We got rid of fucking smallpox, for goodness sake. Imagine if you got smallpox. We need vaccines. They are a requirement. So, yeah. And I'm sorry, people who spout negative things about vaccines, you are hurting society as a whole.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Yeah, you want to go down the thing of talking about mercury because it's used as a preservative in a handful of vaccines out there. You realize
not.
You mean that type of mercury that is harmless?
It's compound containing mercury as opposed to mercury itself.
It's a compound containing mercury, yes. But it does contain mercury. But even with the amount of mercury it has, even if it was pure mercury, it still wouldn't kill you because the amount of mercury in those vaccines is so little. You'd get more from eating a fish.
Yeah.
Or a pear. Actually, you get more from eating a pear, which is
this arsenic in apples, or in the apple seeds at least, and those are harmless to eat.
Did we say it was 30 grams of ground up apple seed, Jen? Did we work it out?
Yeah, 30 grams of ground up apple seed to kill if you want to kill yourself with arsenic poisoning. That's a lot. That's a fair amount of apple seeds you'd have to actually swallow to kill yourself.
30 what?
That sounds awful.
30 pounds of apple seed. Wow.
30 grams of
30 grams.
Of
which
ground
is
up
still a lot of apple seeds because apple seeds don't weigh much.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
It also tastes disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true tech. Oxygen is dangerous because we can die from oxygen.
Oh.
Yeah, your body can overload on literally any substance.
Yep, that's right. You can even H2O is a very, very deadly substance. People die with H2O every single year.
True.
Dihydro. Oh, never mind.
In fact, if there's too much oxygen, if there's too much oxygen
monoxide
in the air, that can kill you as well.
Yep, too much oxygen in the air will kill you. Too much oxygen will kill you. Sorry.
Sorry. And it's not even getting water in your lungs that's dangerous. You drink too much water, that can be a problem if you were like downing water constantly for ages. Which is, it's weird because you'd have to drink an awful fucking lot.
There are no vaccines that are currently issued to people that are dangerous. Yes, there are a handful of people who are allergic to some vaccines and they cannot be vaccinated.
Right, back.
Or there are some people who have autoimmune diseases where they cannot be vaccinated. That is why everybody else who can be vaccinated needs to be vaccinated, so we have herd immunity. If we lose our herd immunity as a species, diseases like smallpox and polio, TB, which is starting to make a comeback in certain places, will be coming back and we will start dying from them in troves that makes COVID look like a fucking Sunday picnic.
Yes. The brains humanity is supposed to have is why we've lasted so long. We need to use them.
Oh. Sam, were you saying something? You went quiet.
Sorry, Sam.
Sorry. I was saying that humanity has survived this long because we've got brains that we're supposed to use. But if we're not using them, that could go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, MRC5 cells, they're only in a couple of vaccines, actually. It's hepatitis A, polio, and so what's the other one? There's one other, I forget, but it's only actually used in 3 vaccines that I know of. And it's it's a cell culture made of fibroblasts, yeah.
Yeah, and even acknowledging...
I'm not, I've got to be honest, I'm not a big science person, so... Yeah,
and your point, Flat Earth Alaska? Yeah, so you're... okay, I'm getting your point that you're anti-abortion. I am pro-choice. That doesn't mean I believe that I'm pro-abortion. I am pro-choice.
Hold on. Let me just see, because I just got the Wikipedia page for that up on there. You've just copied and pasted your last comment from Wikipedia, haven't you?
Yep.
Flat Earth Alaska. That's exactly what you've just done, because I just brought that up.
Well, those deadly Caucasian male fetuses, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to poison you.
But the point is, a 14-week-old fetus is not a fully formed child. It's a fetus. And if it needs to be aborted for a good reason, it needs to be aborted. Because as far as I'm concerned, the mother's life is more important than that fetus. You got that? But aside from that, it's still the mother's choice. It's still the parent's choice on abortion. I may not agree with it if they're doing it for the wrong reasons, what I consider is the wrong reasons, but that's my personal opinion. It is still their choice.
See, the problem with the religious zealots is that they think that the only way the earth can exist or society can exist is that everything follows their rules. But then on the other hand, the hypocrisy makes them cry, "Oh, liberty, freedom, liberty, freedom." But they want to control everyone else. So that's why people get so mad at you. Okay,
exactly.
the hypocrisy, baby.
Besides, if you want to weigh it up or whatever, it's an ingredient in vaccines. It probably saves a lot more children's lives than are actually aborted from it. So.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh, way more. But I mean, these people don't. People who are anti-abortion actually don't care about the children. They care about the fetuses. Once they're born, they don't give a right royal fuck until they're old enough to vote.
Yep. Like, the places you are important is, like, the first 9 months of your DNA existing, and then once you've reached 18, and then you continue that until you reach retirement age, and then you're not important again.
How do you feel about the death penalty?
How do I feel about the death penalty? Was that a question?
You're not here to share information and discuss. You are here to convince people your way is the only way. That's all religions do. Any religion, anywhere in the world, it's a bunch of control freaks who want to run the lives of other people.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
hold on. I mean,
all of them, but a lot of them, definitely.
No, I mean, if they want to just talk about like the science behind vaccines or whatever, I don't mind. Even if you want to talk about ethics or whatever, I don't mind so much. But if it's just dogma, I'm really not interested in But I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to shame you for that, but Flat Earth Alaska. But I just happened to be looking at the same page at the time when you posted that out, and I know you just copied and posted that from Wikipedia because it was word for word.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that
it's irrelevant.
And I'm not knocking you. If you want to use Wikipedia as a source, I'm not going to knock that. We've talked about that a few times in the last week or so, haven't we? So
just give them credit.
I'm sure there are.
Fine, you believe in a creator and you're not religious. Fine, but you obviously are anti-abortion because you wouldn't have brought this up if you weren't. But here's my thing for you on that. regardless of whether you're anti-abortion or not, this particular fetus was aborted for whatever reason. You don't even know the reason why it was aborted. It may have been aborted because it was the only way to save that mother's life.
Yeah.
And once they had the fetus, they collected cells from it to use for making these vaccines. That is a brilliant use of those cells to help save human life. Lives that are actually here on this planet, walking, breathing human beings. That's important. Why? Otherwise, this I mean, even if the parent wanted to still bury the fetus, they've still got most of the fetus. They're only taking a sample from it to grow in culture.
You could collect the cells that they actually needed on the end of a swab. You still have pretty much the entire thing.
The main reason for getting it from a fetus is because they're all stem cells, and
I'm just going to address this one from Hawk's Skull. So those who cut and paste from Wikipedia show a lack of deeper understanding of the subject. I wouldn't say you're wrong, but if people want to just use Wikipedia as a good starting point to do research, it's always a good starting point. It's not necessarily,
so long as you actually check the sources on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's
very, very good source for finding. The references are usually a very good thing to go and or a very good resource. That's what Wikipedia, I think, is absolutely
I'll be
brilliant
back.
for.
No worries.
I'm not going to necessarily dismiss it, because what I'm saying is people have this tendency, because it's Wikipedia, just to dismiss it offhand. Oh, that's Wikipedia. People shouldn't do that. It's a really good resource. There are all sorts of problems with it, but I've just said there's a tendency of people to just dismiss out of hand Wikipedia, and it is a good resource. It's always a really good starting point if you're trying to learn about a subject.
I always have that attitude that regardless of whether my source is Wikipedia or a different one, I always think that source probably has some sort of bias, and there's probably things that I need to read up on, and that are different perspectives and stuff like that. I'm always open to new information that might change. Like there's no perfect source most of the time anyway.
But at the same time, Hawk's Skull is also right. You shouldn't just cut and paste something without really looking into the meaning behind. I mean, this is and we can all make that mistakes. You know, we can all make that kind of mistake of because people know I'm not really an expert on anything scientific. So when I try to, find something I want to read up on a bit, Wikipedia is a good starting point. But I will. But you got to necessarily, with any source or whatever, it's sometimes trying to understand the meaning behind the source rather than just parroting whatever the. And this is a sort of thing I've noticed with like anyone, like whether it be flat earthers or like creationists who deny evolution or whatever. They take snippets or whatever out of science books that they either don't understand, or it's because an awful lot of science, I've got to say, is way beyond beyond my understanding or whatever. But it's not always necessarily a common sense thing when it comes to science, really.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm getting at. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Can I address what he just said then in the chat? So you have come in here to try and spread information, therefore you have talking points. And you are claiming that you're well researched on said talking points, in which case you should have read a lot of sources. And if you have read a lot of sources, you should be able to give us better citation or be able to better communicate than copying and pasting from a Wikipedia article, especially when the particular snippet you gave us actually contained irrelevant information, which would suggest that you're either a terrible communicator and should probably get someone to help you communicate, or you've not really researched and you're bullshitting us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wikipedia may be a common source, but I wouldn't want to cite it. If you want to convince us, cite scientific studies, cite any sort of reliable other sources as well. Give us multiple sources.
The thing about science is it works.
And that definitely means it's not blooming YouTube videos from certain people.
Yep.
Because I had this run in with he was an anti-vaxxer, but also a flat earther the other day on Twitter, and he's sort of like saying, you know, you ask him for his sources, it's like, do your own research. I'm like, no, you're making these stupid claims. Cite your sources for your claims. That's how this shit works.
Yeah. Also, you should have probably specified.
And I pushed the button because I pushed the button because I said, let me guess, you've watched a bunch of YouTube videos, haven't you? And it triggered it because I knew what was coming next. Because he got into it with me and sarcastic barman. This particular person.
Yeah. It's similar with YouTube videos, like as with Wikipedia. Like you can watch a bunch of SciShow videos on various topics, and that can be a good starting point. But then, of course, you won't be informed just by watching that. You need to read more. So yeah, YouTube can be a good start, but you need to go further to be informed.
This is why I think the good YouTubers who communicate scientific things are generally the ones who list their citations in their descriptions.
Yep. Yeah. Because you need primary sources in order to fact check people. Because if you're not fact checking them, you're taking their word for it, and that is definitionally dogma, which I kind of despise. I have a big thing against dogma.
Anyway, guys, I might head out because it's nearly midnight here.
To be honest, no worries. I might keep this going for about another 10 minutes or so yet, to be honest, and then I might wrap it up because I've been going over 2.5 hours now. So
fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to say see you to everybody. If you want to know what I'm up to, I think there will be the 6-pack celebration for 50 episodes, something like that, on tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, yeah,
it's due to be, but given that Chris was in hospital today and he's in a lot of pain, it might get postponed again. Aside from that, well, maybe, Media Musings might be postponed this week. We're not sure yet. Ring wasn't sure if he would have to work. Aside from that, probably Monday evening for people in the UK, which is Monday evening for people in the US. Earlier evening, a lot later evening for people in the UK, and Tuesday morning for people in Australia. I'm doing another Stump Gen. I'm hopefully got a cool guest lined up for it. Plus, we'll have the regulars who are available and can hop in. So, should be another interesting one. So, that's me. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, Jeff.
No worries. No worries, Jen.
Okay.
Right, Flat Earth Alaska.
I'm not nitpicking. I could.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Bye.
I think that's what we've been trying. I think that's what we've been trying to do for the last 20 minutes.
Wrap up.
No, like actually talk to this guy.
Yeah.
What are we nitpicking?
Bye.
To nitpick. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see it.
Yeah, to nitpick would be to tear the whole thing apart because you said nothing of substance. We're trying to talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's gone quiet.
Yes, it has gone quiet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you said okay, so I was waiting to see what you were saying.
No, I'm going to keep this going for maybe 10, 15 minutes more or so, then I'll start wrapping this up. Right. So we've been going I've been going quite a while now, but yeah. But yeah, I don't think we've been nitpicking. I mean, really, a lot of the things is you want people to, if they're going to come in and make claims, you really kind of. Well, to be fair, actually, to Flat Earth Alaska, it's not necessarily, I think, come in here and made a bunch of claims. So I've got to be fair to the guy here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be absolutely as fair as I can. He isn't come in saying, like vaccines are rubbish or whatever. So I'll give him that. So, but
yeah.
And as Sammy says, yeah, a lot of us have been talking to flat earthers since it was a thing. Yeah. And it's, you got to understand, I don't know you, Flat Earth Alaska, but I'm trying to give you as much charity as I can. Just understand, I've dealt with an awful lot of dishonest flat earthers and anti-vaxxers. So if we're a little on our guard about stuff, that's why, because we've dealt with a lot of dishonest people from that side of the fence. Like like we mentioned them earlier, Oakley or Nathan Thompson or whoever, all dishonest interlocutors, Anyway,
Yeah.
should we get off this subject?
Probably.
You're right there, Jenny. Have you fallen asleep?
No, I had to take care of something.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot of closed minds, as though people don't go through their lives assessing, measuring, deciding as they go, and so they reach a point where they believe what they believe, just like you believe what you believe. So I guess your mind is closed as well.
Yeah. I think it's more of a matter of I'm open-minded, but it's like which models best conform with reality. So,
Yep.
Oh, Hawk Skull. Anyone go? New subject anywhere going nice on holiday? Oh wait, I know. I was supposed to go to China this year. I couldn't. So. But Nerdy says it's the lizard people, I tell you.
Well, you don't get to go anywhere else. You went to Machu Picchu.
Yeah, I want to go to other places.
That's like an ultimate bucket list, so you're done traveling.
I'm not done traveling, but I don't know if I could do anything like I did, because I walked the Inca Trail there, which I don't know that I'd be able to do that again. I think I'd physically that'd kill me if I tried to do that again.
Besides, I'd really be afraid if you went traveling and ended up falling off the edge of the earth.
Yeah. Well, who was that blooming? I'm sure he was just doing it to troll flat earthers, but was it Logan Paul wanted to blooming hire?
Oh yeah. He sure did troll them. Did a great job.
Oh, Nerdy, what have you started now? We're not having bloody Illuminati shit. We're not chatting now. I'm sorry.
We can't talk Illuminati because we're talking right now ignorati.
Yeah. So I think you do realise you're talking to Jenny, who is the head of the Illuminati anyway, so
that's right. I got my membership card and everything. You want to see it?
Yeah. Got my I got my Satanic Temple membership card somewhere, but
see, I'm pretty sure I got my polytheist membership card revoked for talking to too many atheists.
I'll tell you what I have got here. Hold on. A little bit. I should have got this. I'm gonna have to get this reprinted out, but I do have my certificate of ordination here from the Church of the Latter-day Dude. So
That's a great name.
yeah. Well, it's the one based on the Big Lebowski, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not.
Oh,
Lebowski.
I didn't know that. I
I'm
didn't
the
know a
dude.
Lebowski version.
Yeah,
was
there
around.
is a religion called Dudism based on the dude from the Big Lebowski. Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing health-wise.
I know because he got diagnosed with cancer, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Ox.
Geez, Jeff Bridges has made so many movies that were so good.
Mm.
Just looked at the chat. Yes, actually, Nerdy, we have too many membership cards that we can't carry them all. Hence why all of mine got taken off me. I tried to give them out to atheists.
Yeah.
Because clearly I've been sat here trying to proselytize all stream.
Oh well, hi Gramsy, nice to see you. Yeah, I do occasionally pop into Little Red's chat, even though it's not really, it's not necessarily the sort of content I normally. I did jump in and help. I did jump in and help her out one time when she was struggling with StreamYard. So, Hawks Girl, Church of Satan are doing some wonderful work in the US women's rights. See, I have no idea what the Church of Satan get up to. I honestly don't. I absolutely do not know anything about what the Satanic Temple. I kind of follow because they're quite interesting. I think what they are. I mean, the thing is that the Satanic Temple. I mean, they are like the Levians and said they don't actually believe in Satan. And you always do get.
I mean, if you wanted theistic Satanists, I could probably point you at a few. But for the most part,
I've
they
run
are
across one or two of them.
Yeah.
But isn't it true that if you believe in Satan, you have to believe in God at the same time because they're the same creature?
Not necessarily. Satan is derived from a Greek word meaning the adversary. The title Satan is just any entity sent by the gods to challenge humanity in any way. Which means that Yahweh is a Satan.
Yeah, the way we use the word Satan today, I kind of think that's not really important where it came from. Though we did hint at it, but that's not how we see it today.
But then if you wanted to use the term Luciferian to specifically refer to people who follow Lucifer, then even then, no, because Lucifer was an entity in its own right before it got adopted into Christianity.
I mean, sorry, I just had to step over 2 secs there to sort my lighting out. But didn't concept of Satan originally come from Zoroastrianism? I'm not quite entirely sure on that. I'm just asking.
Possibly, it was. I think it might have been from Zoroastrianism, but the Jews
Wasn't it
took
Ahriman
it from
the Opposer? Was it that the original origin of it? I don't know.
I'm not certain. I know the Jews took it from the Greeks.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
That was my point. That's how I've always taken it.
So if you believe traditional Christian shit, yes, but you don't have to believe traditional Christian shit.
Well, when I was a traditional Christian, they told me that it's the only real religion. So.
Well, yeah, but Scientologists also say the same thing quite often, don't they? When you get to the higher tiers, at least.
Yeah, that only applies to Florida.
They also told you were a man, so what do they know?
Only really clear water.
Flat Earth Alaska, what are the Jews gonna do? Tell me off? Like, when I say the Jews, I mean my Jewish friends. When I say the Jews, I mean my Jewish friends.
Hold on. Before you say no, so I'm going to stop you there, Sam. Flat Earth Alaska, can I just give you a very, very careful warning about what you post next if you start saying anything about the Jews? Okay, because if you are gonna post, this is a warning now. If you were thinking of posting anything anti-Semitic, you will be fucking hidden from this channel instantly. I'm just warning you now. I'm happy to have you around here, but don't. Those are sort of little lines I'm not going to allow on this channel. So I'm just warning you because I've seen what some flat earthers have done with this before when they've gone down those lines. So
fair. See, I'm not super used to it, so I didn't necessarily understand the full context.
Yeah,
of that.
I got the vibe. I got the vibe from the question that he would be someone who's going to try and defend. That took insult just by the fact that we mentioned them.
Yeah, I'm not. Now I'm going to say I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying he is an anti-Semite or something, but again, this is I'm going on previous experience with some flat earthers here, and so I'm just giving you a warning. If that's where you're about to go, do not go down that route. You will not be welcome around this channel anymore.
Flirfs are against non-binary people. What?
Just a joke on that they couldn't have a mysterious they, which it always turns out to be the Jews for some reason. And then they as a non-binary pronoun.
Yeah, so you see, they is actually me.
Yeah. Yes, Sam controlled all of this all along.
Yeah, well, me and Vila Bianca, we've been discussing it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I've ever spoken to V. Yeah. Okay. So, thinking he's gotten the message there. So, I'm hoping.
Well, fingers crossed, we're all good then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, well, you're welcome to stay around and chat.
Well, then we can.
There's certain things I am and aren't going to allow in my live chat.
Then we can change the subject to Gramsci life. I got to see my two grandnieces yesterday on a Zoom broadcast for about an hour. I haven't seen them in 2 years, and it's just marvelous how they grow. The oldest one, Lily, is in 6th grade this year, and she's grown to be about 3 inches taller than her mother already. So she's like 5'6", 5'7" already at 11 years old. And she's a STEM kid. She loves the sciences and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
So,
yeah, there's nothing better than watch a little girl grow up who didn't get polluted by princess fantasies.
Yeah,
that's fair.
They're so much more well balanced as they hit their teens and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just realised it's coming up to 10 past. I've been going almost 3 hours now, so I'm going to say I'm going to probably have to start wrapping this up fairly soon. So I just want to say I'm just going to go around the room. If anyone's got anything to plug, Sam, I'll start with you. You got anything you'd like to plug?
No, because I'm still trying to work out where I want to stir shit next.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just realised because I don't think I've got any mods in the chat. Actually, I'll just give a micro wrap to a wrench, but
Thanks.
Yeah, Gramsci. I haven't seen it because of the virus and 300 miles distance.
I'm just going to start putting some. Okay. I'll just put. I'm doing this on my phone as well. It's just going to take me a little bit of a while, but it's linked to Sam's channel. I'll just put in the description there. Microraptor, you got anything you'd like to shill?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Sammy, you become a great aunt or great uncle.
Yeah. How about you, Jenny? Because you don't. I mean, you don't have your own YouTube channel, but you seem to be on everyone. You seem to be everywhere these days, though. So I don't know if you want to plug up where you may be appearing.
I actually have no appointments outside of being on Critical Cripples show most days. And then, of course, the Friday night movie night, which was canceled last night because of somebody having to work quite late.
Yeah. Okay. Okie doke. Well, as for me, I'm probably it's going to be a week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm trying to figure out when Hissy and I are going to start up the Asterix streams again. We just wanted to take a break. We just enjoy them. They're light-hearted streams where we just have a bit of fun looking at Asterix comics, and talking some like ancient history as well. So something we kind of enjoy doing. Otherwise, yeah, probably Critical Cripples channel of Critical Questions. I'm sure I'll be on there again at some point soon. I'm fairly regular on there, so other than that, I'm not quite. Oh, possibly Atheist Pastor's channel tomorrow. He's got his 1 year anniversary of his 6-pack show. However, we don't know what's happening at the moment because he's had to go to the hospital today, so we don't know if that stream's going ahead or not. But if it is,
Who did?
Chris Attlee, Atheist Pastor.
Oh, that's right. I heard about.
Yeah, he had a bit of an accident. Yeah, he's had to go and get his teeth sorted out. Something happened, but yeah. So if that goes ahead, I'll probably be on there tomorrow. But otherwise, yeah, be on Critical Cripples thing, and hopefully, I'm going to say my channel. I'm going to obviously start the Asterix stuff back with the Hissy, but I want to start if I can doing a few more interviews with people again, like I did a few months ago. I kind of want to maybe start getting back into doing that, and reaching out to 1 or 2 people. So we'll see how it goes with that. So okay, well, I'm going to bring this stream to a close, guys. Thanks for everybody here. Sam, Microraptor, Jenny, Jen's a little
Thanks,
corner,
man.
Hops Watch. Thanks to everybody in the chat for coming along, supporting the stream.
Clara and Sam.
Yep.
It was excellent to be on.
Yeah, there's a few familiar faces in the chat today, and 1 or 2 new ones. So I'm quite happy to see. So, see you all, guys. You guys later. All right. Take care and.